Next man up, 102.5, The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley. Happy Friday, Nashville. We are broadcasting live from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. It's a great day. We got the U.S. men's national team back on the pitch coming up.
Let's go.
At 2 o'clock today. We are feeling patriotic. I played a little Toby Keith for Connor when we got in here this morning to just get us in the right mood. 2 o'clock against Australia. U.S. can advance with a win, and they can clinch Group D with a win and a Turkey loss or draw later on tonight against Paraguay.
Let's go. Look, I think I told you this when the World Cup started. First off, hi. How are you?
Hello. Yeah.
When I told you this, when the World Cup started, I'm not the hugest soccer guy. And then I sat down and I watched the USA and I watched a little bit of other teams. I haven't sat down and watched like a full game, not the USA, because I feel like that's disrespectful to the country. But I'm all in now. Give it to me. I love this country. I'm starting to really like international soccer. And, you know, once the World Cup's over, I'll probably forget about soccer for the next 4 years. But I love it now. And I don't think they could have picked a perfect time to go on unlike this one. I mean, it's June, football or camps are over, hockey's over, basketball's over, baseball's on. But, you know, as we approach the All-Star break, what would you rather watch? You know, the everyday baseball or World Cup soccer? That feels special. So I'm fired up for today. A lot of people are complaining that it's not in prime time. It's at 2. Me personally, I could not be more thrilled that it's at 2 in the afternoon, because that gives me something not soccer related to do tonight.
Right.
So.
And, you know, I mean, again, personally for me, I know you have work this afternoon.
I do.
I'm out of here at noon and I can go enjoy the game. So I'm loving it. And
I'll have it on the TV.
I can get into bed early tonight instead of having to be up till what? I mean, the game ended like 10:30 last weekend. Next week, it's a 9 p.m. Central Time kick against Turkey. So
you know what, though? It'll be over by 11. Because 11:30.
That is one of the redeeming qualities of soccer. You know when it's going to end. Like it's
quick.
It's 90 minutes plus a 15-minute halftime. You're done. No, I'm excited. I am. I'm not a huge soccer guy. I have watched a little more of the World Cup than just the U.S., but I am fired up for today's game. Let's hope the U.S. just wins the group and we don't have to worry about next week's game against Turkey.
Well, I think once we get further down the stretch in elimination rounds and you got bigger countries maxed up against each other, then I think it'll be more watchable for me in terms of outside of the U.S. Not that it's not watchable. I enjoy seeing the cultures take place. And Adam Vingen and I have talked about that. Actually, all of DVD have talked about it this week. But my favorite part about the World Cup is seeing all these cultures come to America.
It's been so much fun.
Like Freddie, of course, and
Freddie's having the time of his life.
Freddie, you should be jealous of Freddie.
He just got to meet Ella Langley last night. Went to the concert.
Did you see what Ella Langley hooked him up with in his hotel room? He got luggage, he got boots, he got snacks, he got beer. I'm like, man, Freddie, why can't I be a German tourist with a Twitter account?
I mean, Freddie's great. Japan might be my favorite country.
Japan's great. Scotland taking over Boston
Drinking
has been awesome.
all of the beer in Scotland.
No, that's been my favorite part about it so far too, is just, and I've seen people even say this. It wasn't Freddie, but there was another German fan who's like, in Europe, all we hear is bad things about America. It's like all the news. It's just like putting America down and it's a horrible place. And then you come over here and it's amazing. And it's like, and
it's the American dream, man.
Right? I love it.
We love this country. It's got its problems, but we love it. Every country has their problems.
Yeah.
So.
No, not perfect, but we love America, and we hope they beat Australia today. Possibly no Christian Pulisic. We'll talk a little more soccer later on. 3 guys who don't know soccer. We'll spend some more time on that.
I wish we had
trying to learn everything we can in a short amount of time.
We do have 2 guys who are out there at Titans minicamp on Wednesday, so we're going to wrap up the week of this final week of the offseason program. We've got now 6 weeks until training camp. Before we talk Titans, I did want to ask you guys, have you seen the craziest story that I think has come out of minicamp so far?
Is this about Sauce Gardner?
Sauce Gardner just having the wrong age. Just like, how does that happen to this point? Like, I thought it was hilarious. God, it was probably 7, 8 years ago now, where Tyrod Taylor, he was the starter with the Bills or the Browns or something. He was like, oh no, my name's Tyrod. And everyone at Virginia Tech called him Tyrod for his first 8 years as an NFL player, everyone called him Tyrod. And he's like, oh, no, it's Tyrod. You've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy when guys don't put it out there how they want their name pronounced. But to just have the wrong age widely known everywhere is crazy. They had it off by an entire year.
Yeah. No, I saw that story last night and I was like, is this a real story? So I clicked on it and read the whole thing. And apparently it was because some Wikipedia page updated his age and now everyone's just now noticing it and freaking out. I think it's correct now. He's 24, but we all thought he was 25, like born in the year 2000, 25 going on 26, I should say. Born in the year 2000. I think it's been changed to 2001 now. So
yes, I looked it up and now online actually Wikipedia still says 2000. But when you look it up, the AI tells you 2001. So I've never seen something like this before. This is like the Domingo from Benchwarmers. I am 12. Yeah. It's like, can we see a birth certificate for Sauce Gardner? I want to know how old he actually is.
The name thing has happened a lot before. It happened in hockey locally. Remember when Askarov got traded and now he wants to be Askarov. Yeah. It's happened before.
Well, that happens a lot with hockey players. Hockey players will have their like actual pronunciation of wherever they're from, whether it's Russia or Finland or Sweden, and then they'll Americanize it because it's like
it's easier for us.
It just doesn't sound right. Like it sounds like you're putting on an accent if you try and say their name in their correct language. So they Americanize it a little bit. So I get that, but I cannot believe he's been in the league for what, 5 years now?
Yeah.
And just no one ever was like, oh, we've had you listed at the wrong age the entire time.
And why didn't he say something about it?
I guess maybe it just never came up for him, but and I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Like it in the long run, it doesn't matter. But I just thought,
it's funny. Such a June story,
right? But I saw the Mike Florio, the Pro Football Talk article that came out, and it says Sauce Gardner is 24, not 25.
That's the one I read.
I was like, why is this even a question? So I thought that was hilarious. But that, again, you're exactly right. It is a June story of Sauce Gardner just having the wrong age listed for his entire NFL career. The Titans were out on the practice field this week. Minicamp Tuesday, Wednesday. General impressions from what you guys saw this week. I know we talked to Parker a little bit yesterday when TD was on, but anything that stood out to you from those final 2 days of the offseason program?
Yeah, I mean, nothing absolutely groundbreaking to take away from those, as is the case when you have an unpadded practice in the middle of June, right before a 6-week break into the training camp. But, Cam Ward had a good week, I would say. Not a great week, not a horrible week, but a good week. He shored up some of those consistencies we were talking about. He's still got some accuracy concerns there, but nothing to, write home about. Let's see. Carnell Tate the other day, quiet day from him. Kind of glued. Alante Taylor kind of Velcroed to him. Cordell Flott had some pass breakups on him as well. But, I mean, I don't say this because you guys know my background. The player I was most impressed with this week was Wan'Dale Robinson. I cannot stress to you enough how open Wan'Dale Robinson is and the kind of plays that he makes, even in short range. Like, he brought down a couple of contested catches the other day that I was like, that shouldn't be – a guy that size should not be making those catches. So, I mean, you can take that as me being Big Blue biased, but it's not. I'm out there. You're not. Suck it. I'm just kidding. But Wan'Dale Robinson's impressive to me.
Jeez, Connor, family show.
You said the same. Yeah, well, I have said much, much worse on this program.
That's
unintentionally most of the time, yeah.
Unintentionally, yes. Defensively, John Franklin Myers, I think, in watching him, I followed the defense around most of the day on Wednesday. Just because I'd spent a lot of time with the skill position and in the quarterback and things like that. So I was like, what's going on in the defensive realm of things? I followed them around. John Franklin Myers might be one of the deepest players on this roster. Just the way that his size is used. A guy that big should not be that fast. And look, he's very versatile. He doesn't look like it, but he's very versatile. You can plug him in the inside and expect him to stuff the run or even bull rush the quarterback and get to him. I feel like you could also put him on the outside and get some effectiveness that way. The way he moves, and I'll show you some videos in the break of him. He is so fast and so strong. I think it was obviously no secret who the two best pass rushers on this defense were going to be because they're lined up right next to each other, Simmons and Franklin Myers.
Yeah.
But he looks the part. Again, it's unpadded practice in June. So when the pads come on in training camp, we'll see what that looks like, especially with this offensive line. But I was impressed just seeing some of the pass rush drills they're working. Eric Whitecotton is one of the most fun coaches to watch on this entire camp. Just the way he fires those guys up. Before they get started, they all huddle up and they start yelling, family reunion, hugging it around and shaking hands. Then they go to work. And there are a lot of words that are said that I cannot say on the air between the defensive lineman and Eric Whitecotton. But he is probably my favorite coach on this roster to watch. And I feel like he's going to get a lot of results from this group.
I've liked what I've seen from Aaron Whitecotton. I've liked what I've seen from a lot of the coaching staff so far. And again, it's early. And you mentioned John Franklin Myers, big, fast. Jeffrey Simmons. Have you seen the tweet that went up yesterday of the comparison of him from like his rookie season until now?
Middle-sized Jeff Simmons.
He's still big Jeff, but he's big in a different way. And I have a feeling that those two guys are in for a big year on the interior of the offensive line.
And a big contract for one of them.
Yeah. And JFM just got his 3 years, $67 million. Nothing to scoff at either. But Jeff's will certainly be bigger. And I'm glad you mentioned Carnell Tate. I feel like we didn't hear as much about him, and there's no reason for concern with it. But I do think having your starting cornerbacks out there it's better for Carnell Tate.
Yep.
And it challenged him more. He had to face Alontae Taylor. He had to face Cordell Flott. And it's nothing against Micah Robinson and Josh Williams and some of the guys who had been out there in OTAs, but you should expect Carnell Tate to play well against third, fourth, fifth string cornerbacks.
Yeah.
I was glad that you got to see him against the top end guys in the cornerback room for the Titans this week. And, struggling a little bit now is good. It's going to help him learn for when he gets out on the field in training camp.
Yeah. And if you want to look at this even more glass half full, what was our number one concern about Alontae Taylor? The fact that he profiles as a nickel and they're playing him outside.
Yeah.
They played him outside, and here we are talking about how good he looked outside. Again, unpadded practice.
Yep.
We'll see. But I think it's worth noting that your number one corner and your number one wide receiver matched up, and the corner probably won the day. That's not a knock on the wide receiver. I think that's more praise towards your corner.
Right. Well, and you need Alontae Taylor and Cordell Flott to be good this year. You need them to be starting caliber, if not better, based on what you paid them. So good to see those guys out there in uniform for minicamp this week. And now we get into the wait till training camp. 615-737-1025. We're going to ask the question, who on this team is going to be your training camp darling? Every year, there's a player or multiple players that you look at during training camp and you're like, man, I love this guy. Now it's got to be a scrappy guy. Can't be one of these like second or third round draft picks or a free agent addition. It's got to be young guy, undrafted, late round draft pick.
Keldrick Falk is my camp
Keldrick Falk is my camp darling. We're going to ask that question. If you have any thoughts, 615-737-1025 is the phone number. We'll get into that coming up next. Lots to get to on the show today. We'll talk some more World Cup as, again, the U.S. gets ready for Game 2 in group stage against Australia this afternoon. We'll talk some Preds. We are a week away from the NHL draft. And shortly after that, free agency. What are some of the biggest needs for the Preds heading into the offseason? All of that coming up on the show. And we will be giving away some Journey tickets. Every dad takes us on a journey from Little League games and fishing trips to life lessons and road trips. This Father's Day, ESPN 1025 The Game is hooking you up so you can take your old man on another journey to see Journey live. We've got tickets all day long for your chance to win Journey, the Final Frontier Tour 2026 tickets coming to Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. Listen throughout the day for your chance to score a pair of tickets and give Dad a Father's Day gift he'll never forget from ESPN 1025 The Game. We've got a pair of tickets to give away later in the show. We are off and running on this Friday morning. More Titans talk up next. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up, 1025 The Game. I feel like this has to be the theme today, right?
Yeah, brother. Mix of white girl music.
I mean, it's last Friday, the game was at 8 o'clock. So you still had all of Chase and Big Joe, all of DVD to get ready for the game and more. But we got to get the people going for this game right now. The game's at 2 o'clock. So I would appreciate some Toby Keith later.
Getting all the real Americans going,
some
Jack.
Lee Greenwood. We've got to get everybody in an American mood heading into this game.
There is one American song that is banned. Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
We will not be tolerating Born in the USA.
No Born in the USA?
Well, yeah, that's not that it's not patriotic. Isn't that the point of it?
Yes. But people think it is.
The people, yeah, like
it's
am I missing something here?
It's about like the country letting him down, basically, I think.
Yeah. And plus it's Bruce Springsteen. Sorry, Paul Kaharski, cover your ears. Bruce Springsteen stuck. Bruce Springsteen is not for me. I do not like
that's 2 times on this station we've now gotten some Bruce Springsteen strays this morning. Robbie said the same thing.
Not for me. I don't like it.
I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other.
I don't either. I just didn't know Born in the USA was anti-American.
Yeah, well,
maybe I need to do more research.
But it's not patriotic. Listen to the lyrics, and anyway, America,
misconception.
Australia coming up at 2, and we will be in a patriotic mood by the end of the show if we aren't already.
I'm always in a patriotic mood. I've told you before, the Mount Rushmore of Connor Nute personality: faith, family, sports, and the United States of America.
Well, and I've got them on my World Cup draft list too. So, we're rooting for America to get it done.
How are my boys doing? I haven't looked.
I actually, do we want a quick standings update? Or
all I know is France beat Senegal, and I was taking victory laps.
So for me, Spain was my number one pick, and Spain not getting 3 points against Cape Verde was tough. But I think they'll be okay. I had Portugal, who also tied, and the U.S. who got a win.
Goat Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Imagine not scoring.
Yeah, Portugal tied with is that Cambodia?
Imagine not getting a hat trick.
Congo.
Yeah. Real goat stuff right there.
Parker, France got a win. Brazil tied. Brazil had a draw with Morocco. And Belgium had a draw with Egypt. Connor, Argentina won behind a hat trick from Messi. Germany won with won 7-1. And then you had Senegal.
Hell yeah, I did.
Senegal.
Do we know where Senegal is this week?
Senegal lost to France.
Oh,
so there you go. So, but your top 2 are better.
Well,
so
people have been asking me all week, are you serious about Senegal? No, I don't care.
Yeah, I was England was on the board, and I respect you for not taking England.
Oh no. Well, my only regret is that I didn't take United States of America first.
I know. I felt bad.
Feel unpatriotic.
We got called out for that, and I agree. Should have gone first overall. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. We're talking Titans here, wrapping up the final week of the offseason program as we go into this month-long break before training camp. Every year, there's always these players that the fan base gets excited about, the training camp darlings, who we talk about all offseason and into training camp and through the preseason. And usually they don't end up making the roster. They're usually on the practice squad, or sometimes don't even make the practice squad. And the first name that comes to mind, of course, is
cough, cough.
Catching the strep, Xavier Restrepo. Dustin from Hopkinsville texted that in immediately, said strep. And after what he did in the offseason program, I think it's hard to deny that he's going to be somebody that the fan base is going to be watching all throughout the preseason. But if you remember, and TD brought this up yesterday about last year, Xavier Restrepo looked pretty good in the offseason program last year too. And we were having conversations about, man, could he make the team? And then he completely disappeared in training camp. And in the preseason, he was playing with the 4s. So I think it's still too early, but it is encouraging to see that he has been one of the most productive players in training in the offseason program. And at the very least, it makes the back end of that wide receiver room more interesting with him, Bryce Oliver, KJ Osborne, and others.
Yeah, he's been impressive may not be the word, because I expect him to make plays at this point. You've got a year in the system granted it's a new system, but you have a year of NFL playing and you've played some regular season games under your belt. So I expect a step up. He had a catch the other day. I'm sure you saw Odell Beckham-like. and
Yes.
probably the play of the day. And, he had some other things as well, but the speed is still, he's just not there in terms of keeping up with some of the top end talent. Like, I would like to see him matched up with Alontae Taylor just to see the speed difference.
Yeah.
Because he's not there. I mean, if you watch, and this is no slight to him, this is just what I see. If you watch him compared to Wan'Dale Robinson or Carnell Tate, then there you could see the difference in a true bona fide wide receiver in the NFL and Xavier Restrepo. That said, he's made some plays out there, and he probably won't make the roster, not in my opinion at least, but you can't say he's not pushing. If I were the Titans, it'd probably be, I'd say 6 receivers for me. Ridley, Tate, Robinson, DK, Io Manor, and then I'd keep Bryce Oliver.
I think you keep Oliver just because he is a very good special teamer.
Mhm.
And that's when you get past the starters and the key backups, the back end of the roster from like 40 to 53, a lot of it is about who can help you on special teams. And Xavier Restrepo has not proven that he's going to do that. Maybe he's able to develop and is able to give you something on special teams. But when he isn't the fastest guy, I don't think you want him to be a gunner for you. And so, like, I don't think he makes the team, but I do think that he is going to push for it. I think he'll look better in training camp this year. And you hope you can get him back on the practice squad again and see if he continues to develop. But I do think I agree with you. If I had to pick 6, I'm still going to stick with those 6.
If I were to go 7, I think I'd go KJ Osborne over Restrepo, just because that's a veteran presence to have in your locker room. It's a guy that's had moderate success on other teams. Like I think he was the slot guy on that Vikings team.
Yeah, he was with the Vikings for a little bit.
With Jefferson and Thielen.
Yeah.
So that's a guy, he reminds me of Van Jefferson a little bit. A guy that's not going to do anything for you, but is still someone worth having. And you're not paying him dirt. Like, you have him for nothing. So I would probably, if I were going 7, consider him. But Restrepo, when the pads come on, has the opportunity to make an even better push. He's coming out of this camp with some momentum. So we'll see what he does. I think, I don't want to say the hype, but the excitement for some of the things Xavier Restrepo has done out there, I think is very valid.
Yeah.
Because he does what he's asked, and it's no denying that the chemistry between him and Cam Ward is there.
Yeah.
They are friends. It happens. But to me, I don't know if he just has the measurable things capable of making an actual difference in an NFL game. And I think that's what's going to keep him out.
615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to text or call. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Again, we're talking about training camp darlings. Who are some guys on this Titans roster currently that you're excited to see in training camp, even if they're not towards the top of the depth chart? And I also had the question, there was one name that came to mind when I think of training camp darling, a guy that every year fans got excited about with the Titans. If you have any out there that you thought of, like, man, the guy that you loved every year in the offseason who just never actually did anything on Sundays, or at least wasn't a super productive player on Sundays, send it in. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Today, the Nashville Sounds take on the Memphis Redbirds with first pitch at 7:05. You can catch all of the action on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks, Family Leisure, Maple Street Biscuit Company, Mad Fireworks, and Social Cantina. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up, 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game, Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley with you. Wrapping up the final week of Titans off-season workouts. Training camp coming up next month. All of our football off-season coverage is brought to you by Tennessee Brewworks, finely tuned craft beer for finely tuned fans. Tennessee Brewworks, the official craft beer of the off-season here on 102.5 The Game. Fitting song there, Parker, for what we'll get into coming up in a little bit. College World Series Championship Series coming up tomorrow night. Oklahoma and North Carolina facing off for a national title. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but we're talking Titans here. Training camp coming up, and there's always these players that we highlight who they're at best. They are back end of the roster guys who are barely going to sneak onto the 53. But of course, you're not going to talk about the players you know about. Like Jeffrey Simmons doesn't get a whole lot of training camp headlines. You're talking about these young guys who you hope are lottery tickets who hit. And we talked about Xavier Restrepo. He's a guy a lot of people are looking at. Undrafted free agent last year, played with Cam Ward. He did get into the action against Seattle last year and made a couple of plays, but he's still, undrafted guy, not the most athletically gifted wide receiver out there. So we talked about him as a training camp darling, and that's 100%. Everybody's going to be looking at him. Another guy that I think is going to impress Titans fans is Jaren Kanak.
The mechanic.
I think
a mechanic, baby.
He is going to be the king of like second half preseason, making plays at tight end, but he's also going to have a couple of tackles or hits on special teams that are going to impress people. I think Jaren Kanak is going to be one of those players that everybody loves watching in training camp in the preseason, who in the end probably doesn't make the roster. And if he does, he's going to be one of those guys at the very end who's a fourth tight end.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that. They're keeping 4, in my opinion. I would go Helm, Bellinger, DMR, and then
the mechanic.
The mechanic's fun. I mean, you hear the player chatter out there every time Jared Kanak makes a play. Check engine lights on, everyone.
Check engine light came on.
There it is. Yeah, that's probably my favorite darling this year as well. I know Parker loves him some Keydrain Callaghan. That's his guy. There's not too many guys that are like that you don't already know that are going to be like, oh my God, like, Julius Chestnut's out there, of course. Mason Kinsey, the all-time Titans cockroach, is out there.
Yeah.
So,
but there's always guys who make one play in the preseason will get you on the radar, fans, like Kendall Brooks with a pick 6 against Atlanta last year. I feel like we talked about him a decent amount. Yeah. Like there's going to be these guys who really aren't all that important to the roster, but that's why the preseason training camp is fun, because it's not just the 53. You get to see all 90.
Yeah.
And it's like these guys that you maybe wouldn't have thought could help your team maybe sneak into that conversation.
DMR is a training camp darling.
Yeah, DMR was one of the training camp darlings a couple of years ago, and it's actually turned into a success story. When I think training camp darling, like the definition for me is the guys that Hard Knocks would feature every single year.
For 7th round pick.
Right.
Undrafted
free agent John Smith has had a tough road to get here, but he's hoping his hard work gets him onto the 53.
Yeah. You know who my favorite training camp darling ever is? The Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Joe.
Oh, yeah.
He's my favorite. I love that guy.
There were some good ones. Who was the Browns year, Baker Mayfield's rookie year, the tight end that was I'd never heard of him again after this, but they featured him pretty heavily. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'll find it during the break.
It's the Raiders. You remember Ronald Ollie?
Yeah, Ronald, because he was Last Chance
U.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorites.
Those are some good ones.
And Ian Wheeler for the Bears, the running back.
Yeah.
Tyson Bagent was kind of a training camp darling when he was that last year or the year before?
It was been his rookie year.
Yeah, his rookie year.
Because he went from 4th string to backup.
And then played on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Right. And they were
I've actually watched him
play
in person in primetime on Thursday night.
Yeah.
You remember that Bears-Panthers game that was like 17-14 was the final?
Oh, yes.
I was at that game.
Because we were excited. We thought it was going to be I think Fields was still the quarterback.
Yeah.
It would have been Fields versus Young, and Young was a rookie.
The Bears were wearing their orange jerseys with the orange helmets.
It was the first time they wore the orange helmet.
Racy McMath was a good one.
I mean, he was on that team that won the national championship in LSU.
Yeah,
with Burrow and Jefferson and Chase, and I thought, he's going to bring some of that success over here, and he delivered in training camp. And then he may have made the roster one year, but
I think he did make the 53 one year, but he got injured or cut pretty shortly after that. But yes,
with the Colts now.
Racey McMath is a great example of he would make plays in training camp practices and everybody be excited of, man, did we find a diamond in the rough? Like these LSU wide receivers, they usually work out, and it just didn't.
Him and Terrace Marshall, those were the two. Terrace Marshall didn't play for the Titans.
He was, Panthers.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite of all time. And he actually, it may not be fair because he actually did play a little bit for the Titans. He played 36 games over 3 years and had 160 total tackles. So, like, again, he wasn't a great player, but he was a back end of the roster guy, made the team. Colin McCarthy.
Yes.
Every single year I remember training camp rolled around. It was like, oh, is Colin McCarthy going to be a big part of this team this year? And it just, it never happened. I don't know why when I was writing this out and I was like talking about training camp darlings for this year, his name was the one that came to mind every single time.
He comes from a long line of Miami linebacker lineages.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Maybe the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And then some guy named Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Never
When did he play there?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that was the player that came to mind for me was Colin McCarthy. I always thought that he was going to end up being like a stud middle linebacker, and he was always. I mean, he made a couple of plays. I want to say he had like 3 interceptions in 3 years and a couple of forced fumbles. So again, not like he was a complete bust and never played, but like that was always somebody that I pointed out to.
Chris Moore. I mean, he was a camp darling, and then he made the roster, and it felt like that one year. Might have been the 2020 season.
Yeah.
He would always just make one play every game. Like it was a 40-yard catch, and then you'd never hear from him again the rest of the game.
No, it's true. 5515 mentions Taywan Taylor. And Taywan was a 3rd-round pick. So I think there were expectations for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if for me, training camp darling is these guys who the team isn't invested in really at all, but you get invested into them.
Yeah.
And like Taywan Taylor was a 3rd-round pick, but I agree with what like the point that, he was always somebody that you got excited about in the preseason and he just never actually panned out.
Yeah.
Cameron says, man, when you look back on it, Traylon Burks was a training camp darling. Yeah. I mean,
I felt like we heard more bad than good from him.
No, you remember the 2023 training camp where everybody was fired up about him. And then he got hurt in Minnesota in the joint practices. That I remember listening to the station during the first couple weeks of training camp. And it was like, man, I know AJ Brown was really good last year, but Traylon Burks is just lighting it up in camp right now.
Yeah.
Like him and Tannehill have a connection and Burks is going to have a big year. And then he messed up his knee in the Minnesota joint practices and he was still healthy for the opener, but it just never got back to that point.
I do remember this.
There was like a 2-week period where everyone thought Traylon Burks was going to be a star.
That was his 2nd year because his 1st year was the whole asthma thing.
Well, right. And so, the first year you saw the flashes like the Packers game where he big dog Jair Alexander at the end of that win. And that was the final win of the season. They got to 7-3. They lost 7 straight.
What a historic day.
He got knocked out against the Eagles.
Yeah.
A couple weeks later.
His concussion. Yeah, that's right.
And he came back in the Jaguars game to end the season because I don't know why this is like burned into my memory of him trying to throw a lateral across the field in that game. And it was almost a complete disaster. I'll have to look up the video, but that I do remember he came back, but there was at least something that you look back on from his rookie year, that Packers game. And you were like, man, Traylon Burks, he's got something there. And then it looked good for the beginning of training camp and it never came back after that.
Jeff Swaim, training camp darling.
Jeff Swaim.
And then he made the roster. He was awful.
Hey, Jeff Swaim was always a decent blocking tight end.
That's all he was good for.
I'm trying to think.
And then they tried to use him like Anthony Ferkser in the goal line. And that's another training camp darling, by the way. Anthony Ferkser.
Oh, yeah. Ferk is a good training camp darling.
Yeah.
Now, he made some plays kind of like Colin McCarthy. Like he
was a goal line guy.
But everybody kind of was like, man, Anthony Ferkser, he could be a dude.
Who was the one? Oh, he played at Vanderbilt. And he made some really good plays in the season. He was a tight end. Michael Pruitt.
Oh, yeah, Michael Pruitt. Yeah. Michael Pruitt had a decent run here.
Yeah, he did.
We've gotten to the point where this is just like guys sitting around naming random players.
Dudes rule.
5515 says cornerback Tommy Campbell. That's a good one.
That's a good. I remember Tommy
There's
Campbell.
been a lot of corners who I think Titans fans have kind of convinced themselves are going to be great, and they're usually just meh.
Yeah.
But
Justin Hunter, training camp.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the wide receivers.
Yeah.
With how few wide receivers have actually turned out to be good.
DGB.
I thought that guy was going to be a stud.
I did too.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. If you want to join the conversation, our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll get to any more of these that you have. Training camp darlings all time for the Titans. Guys that you were sure, based on what they were doing in practice, that they were going to be stars, and it just never happened. 615-737-1025. We'll wrap up the first hour of the show coming up next. We'll talk some Preds in hour number 2. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up. 1025 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley. We are excited for the U.S. and Australia this afternoon.
I'm good with this. We can postpone White Girl Friday for another day.
Yeah,
I'm good with
We'll get a
patriotism.
mix
It's
in. We'll get a mix.
America Friday.
I mean, you can throw some country in there like that.
Yeah, you got Riley Green, different round here. That's a good
with
one.
Luke Combs.
Yeah.
There's some other
Love
ones
that
too.
song.
Lots of good options for Parker today as we get ready. 2:00 kick out in Seattle, the U.S. and Australia. I wanted to touch on the College World Series because we haven't talked about it much. I know Tennessee, Vanderbilt not in it, but good series lined up, North Carolina and Oklahoma. But first, I saw this tweet last night, and I'm so glad it came back up on my timeline during this break. So there's a British soccer fan on Twitter who they were in Dallas for the first game for England. They're going up to Boston for the next game, but they stopped in Nashville on the way, and he tweeted, arrived in Nashville, and while most people are admiring Music Row, and he's standing on a rooftop on Broadway, says, I'm distracted by the stadium in the background. What an absolute beauty. He is not taking a picture of the new stadium. He's taking a picture of the old stadium. It is so funny how European people love stadiums and are like enamored by MetLife. Has gotten so much run this week.
Yeah.
It's like, what a gorgeous stadium, MetLife Stadium. Like, I wouldn't put MetLife in like the top half of NFL stadiums. And I've been
what was the one lady that was just gushing over Raymond James in Tampa? And people were commenting like, this is like a bottom tier NFL stadium.
They don't have anything like that over there.
Raymond James is the exact same model as Nissan.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically the same stadium.
They just have a pirate ship.
Right. They have a pirate ship, and we have little houses.
But you know what? I do the same thing for them. Like, the World Cup games being hosted in Mexico.
Right.
I'm looking at that stadium and I think, what a absolute specimen.
Yeah,
that
last
is.
night I thought that stadium in Guadalajara.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And I'm sure that's what it is. It's just different, right? And like, so they're looking at Nissan Stadium saying, man, that's gorgeous. And us who see it all the time and are getting ready for the billions of dollars being put into the new one that's going to be a spaceship, basically. It's like, really? Nissan, the current Nissan Stadium? That's what you're saying is a beauty? He like tagged Nissan Stadium and asked for a tour. I was like, which I'm just like, all right, to each their own. If you think
let's show them First Horizon,
right,
see what they think.
I mean, I guess, again, if I looked at Premier League stadiums, I'd probably think those were cool. Like when they go play in like the Tottenham Spurs Stadium, like I think that's a cool
in the NFL
stadium. Like, but I just thought it was, I thought that was so funny.
There was a tour of a stadium that's going to be closed
of Nissan Stadium that's going to be a parking lot in a year and a half. So
just wait till he sees the new one.
I know. He's going to get over across the bridge for the tour, and he's going to be like, "What is that?" So I thought that was hilarious.
Let's get him to Hawkins Field and see what happens.
We've got a Nashville example of Europeans discovering America. What an absolute beauty.
He said, take him to JP2, see what he thinks.
Yeah, just bring him to a high school stadium and be like, this is it.
Holy mother of God.
Anyway.
Can you tell it's Friday?
Yeah. Well, that anytime Connor's on Fridays, we get off the rails a little bit. No, it's not your fault. It's also me. It's like we just get we get into all this.
This is why they give me Fridays, folks. If they gave me like Wednesdays, it'd be a problem.
The College World Series, the championship series is set tomorrow. Game 1, North Carolina, Oklahoma. And the big question for me is just, can the SEC keep the dominance going?
I hope so. That's what I'm bowling for at this point. And I'm not a conference guy. I'm not
I just think it's funny.
Yeah, that's why I'm pulling for them. And I don't really want to see the ACC win anything. But it is really kind of the tale of two teams. But at the same time, it's not. It's two teams that haven't lost in Omaha yet. But if you were to ask me in, March, if, North Carolina and Oklahoma are going to play in the national championship, who would I take? I would take North Carolina, chips in the middle. I feel like that would be a really safe bet. But Oklahoma is playing so hot right now. I mean, their game against Georgia the other day, they had, 5 home runs?
Right.
It's going to be – I always tell you people this. In baseball and hockey are the two sports. It's not the best team that wins it. It's the hottest.
Yep.
So we'll see. It's two teams that are playing very hot, but I feel like the hitting for Oklahoma might play a factor in a couple games here.
I mean, Oklahoma was not a great team in the regular season. They had a sub 500 SEC record. They were 14-16. They lost a series to Vanderbilt, who didn't make the tournament this year.
Tennessee.
And Tennessee, they lost a series to. They were able to avoid the sweep on the last day of the regular season. And then they were one and done, losing to LSU in the SEC tournament, who also missed the tournament this year. And then they go into the Atlanta Regional and are able to win back-to-back games and beat the number 2 overall seed in Georgia Tech. They sweep their super against Kansas, and they have just been a wagon in Omaha so far, winning all 3 games. Number 7, Alabama, 9-zip, beat Georgia 4-3, and then 11-4 in that game to move on to the championship series.
Yeah, they're a hot team. They were one of the last teams in, if I'm not mistaken. They remind me of Ole Miss a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Where Ole Miss was quite literally the last team in and then went all the way to win the whole thing.
Right.
But it's that kind of a little bit of luck, but that kind of skill it takes where you get your bats hot at the right time. The pitching is doing its job. I mean, the pitching was no slouch against Georgia. Georgia's a hot hitting team, and they held them to what, 4 runs? Was that right?
Yeah, 11-4.
11-4.
And they 4-3 in the previous game. So, yeah, Georgia, a team that was just dropping double-digit bombs on Mississippi State in the Super Regional. And Oklahoma, they're playing really good baseball right now. I think North Carolina is the better team.
I do too.
But as you said, getting hot at the right time is a big part of this. I wonder if maybe having these couple days off hurts them because, I mean, they've been rolling through Omaha so far. Game 1 is tomorrow night against North Carolina. Then it'll go Sunday and then Monday if necessary.
I hope so. We deserve a 3-game series. We haven't really gotten the drama that Omaha brings us this year.
It hasn't been a great College World Series.
It has. I mean, it's been kind of blowouts. Like, the score looks prettier. Like, the other day, it was West Virginia and North Carolina. It was like 12-2, and then they came back, and it was 12-7. So the score looked a little bit prettier, but it hasn't been like the high drama, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, walk off kind of stuff this year.
Right. The Troy games, honestly, have been some of the most fun ones of the series.
Yeah.
And, you know, Georgia, Texas was a decent game. The first Georgia, Oklahoma was a good game. But, yeah, I agree. I hope we get a good championship series here. And I am rooting for Oklahoma just because if the SEC wins this year and the SEC wins next year, it'll be a decade between wins for another conference outside of the SEC and another one, with the SEC winning what? 8? They've won 7 straight now.
I think 8.
No, they've won 6 straight because there was no tournament in 2020.
That's right.
19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So this would be 26. This would be the 7th straight national championship in baseball for the SEC. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. If you want to text or call, our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Again, later in the show, we will give away a pair of Journey tickets as they come to Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. So stay tuned for that. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel at 1025 The Game for live shows and exclusive content. 615-737-1025. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, hour number 2 coming up next. You're on Next Man Up, 1025 The Game. Second hour on this Friday. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Going to talk some Preds here to lead off the second hour, but I just saw another tweet about Europeans experiencing Nashville.
I'm still laughing at this one.
The John one?
Yeah.
So we discovered in the last segment there was a tweet from a British soccer fan who's visiting Nashville in between England soccer matches, and he said Nissan Stadium, the current Nissan Stadium, what a beauty, and he wants a tour. So I saw another one here he has a Scotland flag in his name, but he says he lives in the UK. So I guess Scotland is in the UK.
It is.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ireland or Northern Ireland, whatever. He says, Hattie B's fried chicken had so many American people reply to me saying to try it out. Was so good I got it twice. Best chicken I've ever had, man. Can't think of anything in the UK that compares.
Oh, my.
That is true. I think Hattie B's does have the best hot chicken in Nashville.
That's a hot take. TD says the same thing.
Well, what do y'all think?
I see.
It depends on if you're going chain or if you're going local.
I don't want to give full full shout outs here, but it's hot chicken. We talk about it.
I'm not a hot chicken guy, first of all.
So Prince's is good. I would say Prince's is one of my favorites.
I like Prince's.
You know what I've recently discovered? I've only had it twice. Near the Parthenon, Red's 615 hot chicken.
I've heard good
kitchen.
things.
Red's 615 kitchen. That hot chicken, ridiculous.
I'm not a huge hot chicken guy. I love chicken, but I mean, in terms of chain restaurants, you guys know where I stand on this.
Oh, you're talking like Cane's or Zaxby's here? Okay, gotcha.
I
No, I was thinking like Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah.
And I had the Reds 615 a couple weeks ago. Got hot chicken, got the medium with pimento mac and cheese and their fries, which had a crazy seasoning on it. Shout out.
Party Foul's good.
Party Foul. I mean, all of it's good. I don't think you're getting bad, but
Hattie B's.
I would say
funny.
Hattie B's. I mean, it's the tourist one. That's where the tourists like to go. And I just thought that was funny. Best chicken I've ever had. Nothing in the UK compares.
Well, did you get fish and chips with that?
Yeah. Nashville is opening the eyes of many British tourists this
No
week.
more haddock for them. They'll never go back.
Let's talk some Preds here. We are a week away from the NHL draft in Buffalo, and Chris McFarland will get to make his first picks as the new head honcho of the Nashville Preds. He made a move this week, bringing in Ross Colton. Also confirmed that Andrew Brunette going to be back as the head coach, but things are about to start getting chaotic here. You got the draft, and then shortly after that, free agency. It's an important offseason for the Predators, and we continue to ask the question of what direction does Chris McFarland want to take this organization. But in general, you've got to fill out the roster and try and put a team that you believe is going to be competitive on the ice around the veteran guys that you have. What do you think the Preds need to do this offseason? You brought in Colton, who to me feels like an Eric Holla replacement, but there definitely needs to be some more additions here and there for the Predators to fill out this team.
It's interesting because you're at a bit of a crossroads here. Do you want to go all in and try and compete for a cup this season, or do you want to see things out the next couple of years? What needs to happen is I think you need to see if you can get rid of some of these contracts you have. Jonathan Marchessault, first of all, comes to mind, especially with Brunette appearing to come back as the head coach. I think it's just time for a change. I know he has the no move, but you got to be willing to find a partner, and I feel like he would waive that no move.
I agree, for the right spot.
So you could probably try and move him to a contender, because I would imagine he's trying to win another cup before he hangs it up. So that's the first thing I would try to do, is see if you can get rid of that contract. Honestly, I would listen to offers on Ryan O'Reilly and Brady Shea, see if those are available. Brady Shea, I'm less all in on, just because you need defensive pieces, and this is something that this team has been lacking. But Ryan O'Reilly, he had the opportunity when his value was high. His value is still high. He's coming off a career year.
Yeah.
So see what you can get for him. I feel like someone would pay probably a first rounder for him.
With Shea, I said it last week. I was surprised that Preds fans in Adam's poll of what the Preds fans thought in the offseason, they were asked who would you like to remove the no move clause from? And Shea was the overwhelming winner.
Yeah.
So I think Marchessault, I think that's a trade that probably happens, and it doesn't really give you too much of a clue about which way they want to take this team. I just think it's been a bad fit since the beginning. And I think both sides are ready to move on there. Now, maybe things have softened. The team played better down the stretch last year, and I think Marchessault had his moments during that run where the Preds got into it. But I would say if Marchessault gets traded, put that off to the side. I don't think it really tells you much about the philosophy of where Chris McFarland wants to take this team. O'Reilly is the pivot point for me of if you keep O'Reilly, clearly you're looking to be moderately competitive this year. I don't think anybody would say this team is ready to compete for a cup.
No.
But I think with the pieces that you have, and if the young guys continue to develop, then sure, this team could be in the playoff hunt again as long as you get off to a better start than you did last year. But if you trade Ryan O'Reilly, you're making a pretty big statement to the league and to the fan base of, hey, we're not going to be in the playoff chase this year. We're trying to build for the future. So that's the pivot point for me is what does he do with Ryan O'Reilly? Because if you don't trade him now, yeah, maybe at the deadline you could get similar value. You're getting one cup run no matter what with Ryan O'Reilly at this point, but I do wonder if Chris McFarland wants to get the highest amount of value he can for Ryan O'Reilly this offseason because you just never know. Injury or poor performance, his value really can only go down as you get into the season.
Yeah, and that's been kind of the common theme for the Predators over the past couple of years is overcompensation with the roster, thinking you are more competitive than you actually are going to be. 2 years ago is the perfect example of that. And then, of course, it came to fruition last year with Barry Trotz and the whole serving two masters comment about Ryan O'Reilly, treating him as if he has a no trade clause when he doesn't.
Yeah.
People have problems with that. People don't have problems with that. I kind of lie in the middle. I understood it, but at the same time, I would have probably tried to make a move. So I think you're right. I think he's the hinge point at which this team is competitive or not. If you move off of him, I would expect to see some Brady Martin action starting next year, no matter where he is. We'll find out a lot here later in the summer once they get on the ice and going. But I don't know. This is Chris McFarland so far seems to be pretty self-aware of where this team is. And I think his introductory press conference is a perfect example of that, saying he doesn't want to be in the middle. Now, he hasn't made any moves to extremely throw you over the top or send you to the bottom of the league
early,
yet.
right?
It's so early. He's made one move and brought in Ross Colton, which obviously is our Eric Holla replacement. And I think he'll be better than Eric Holla just because he's younger. And in doing some research on him yesterday, we had him on the show. He seems super fired up to be here, by the way.
Yeah.
Go listen to that if you haven't listened to it with DVD. It was great. But I think I don't want to say he's going to be a star, but I think he's going to be one of your solid role players on this team. So I'm just curious to see what direction they take this season. What is the general mindset of that front office? And, I think a lot of Preds fans worry that they're going to overcompensate again and think that they are competitive. We all know where this started. This started with the whole Vegas trip thing, the 19-game point streak, and then they made the playoffs. Then they get to that summer. Trotz says this team can compete. You have your July 1st, 2024.
Yep.
And then you have the worst season in franchise history. So I think it's set this franchise back, to be honest with you.
In the moment, it was viewed as this jumping off point, the U2 concert getting canceled. Do you maybe wish in the long run they had just gone and seen U2 play at the Sphere?
Maybe we'd be further along in the rebuilding process.
Right. I mean, maybe it doesn't give Barry Trotz kind of that false hope of like, oh, we can go all in on this team. And obviously it didn't work. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. If you have thoughts on what the Preds should do this offseason, we'd love to hear from you. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. I've got some thoughts about where the Predators could add this offseason, but a lot of what the Predators do over the next month or so, I think will be dependent on what the team believes about their young players. So we'll talk about that coming up next. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. And again, we're going to give away some Journey tickets coming up later on in the show, so stay tuned for that. We got a pair of tickets for when Journey comes to Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. We are also proud to support Juneteenth 615, the Freedom Exposition, Nashville's citywide celebration of Black freedom, culture, creativity, and community this Friday night. This year's celebration takes place tonight from 5 to 9:30 at Centennial Park, transforming the park into a living cultural experience filled with music, food, family, entrepreneurship, history, and joy. Join in as Nashville gathers to honor the past, celebrate the present, and imagine what freedom can continue to become. You can also learn more at Juneteenth615.com. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up here on 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley with you on your Friday morning. Duncan fans, Bellevue's newest location at 7120 Highway 70 South announces their grand opening event tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. to 11. Connor and Dr. Crane will be out there for the weekend huddle. To celebrate, they're also bringing in baseball star players from Banana Ball's Texas Tailgaters and Party Animals for a special meet and greet. That's Duncan's grand opening tomorrow in Bellevue on Highway 70 South from 9 a.m. to 11.
We're going to settle an all-time debate for you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Dustin apparently was the one who rage baited us about that.
We're gonna solve it once and for all.
I mean, there's nothing to solve.
I'm going to ask them, do you think you could beat the Nashville Sounds in a series?
If they say yes, they are delusional.
Okay, then that's the conclusion we come to.
We don't need to open that box again.
Hopefully they're not listening.
Yeah,
hopefully they haven't heard my past comments on Banana Bowl.
I mean, I do like it better. Again, I've never been to a Banana Ball game. I've seen some of the clips and all that stuff. I like it better that they're playing in an actual baseball stadium here. Yes. Like, I don't love the football ones where the left field porch is like 180 feet. And it's just like, what's the point of even playing the game at that point? But I know they have a net or something that you have to hit it over, but whatever. That's beside the point. They're over at First Horizon Park. I know. I see it. Sadly, Dustin will never know. But we know. Anyway, Preds getting ready for the offseason. In fact, the offseason already started, made a move for Ross Colton earlier this week. Draft is a week away from today. And then shortly after that, the week after, we will get free agency in the NHL. And it'll be the first chance for Chris McFarland to add to this roster. I look at the blue line, and I do think that you need to upgrade there, right? Like, yeah, Shea, you're paying him a lot and you hope he's better. And of course, the captain, Roman Josi. Nick Hague was fine when he was healthy last year. You've got Perbix, you've got Wilsby. But I think that I said it heading into the break. A lot of Chris McFarland's decisions this offseason are going to be based around the belief he has in the young players. Do you think Ryan Ufko can be on your second D pair this year? Do you think Tanner Molendijk can be an everyday NHL player this year? I think those are the questions that you have to ask. And if the answer is no to either or both of those questions, then maybe you do have to go add another veteran in free agency. But I do think not even just on the blue line, but at the forward position as well, I just think a lot of Chris McFarland's decisions this offseason are going to be based around whether the young players are ready to take on bigger roles.
100% agree with that. And the defensive side of the puck is interesting to me because that's a position group that it seems like they've been lacking the past couple of years. And they're not getting any younger. Roman Josi is getting old. Brady Shea, obviously. You've got, like you said, some young guys in Ufko, Wilsby, people like that. Tanner Molendijk is interesting to me because it always seems like he's on the cusp of being ready. And then they pull out last second, and then we don't see him for the year. So I'm curious, has he taken any major steps towards being a really good NHL starter? Because I think he's got all the intangibles to do it. That's a prospect I know that they're really high on, and someone that I think they think can wear the gold for many, many years and be productive at doing that. But it's a matter of is he ready right now? And if he's not, then maybe you need to go out into the free market and see if you can get someone on a cheaper contract. I don't think they need any major overhaul Norris Trophy candidate, and I don't think you're going to find that in this year's free agency.
No, it's not a great class.
It's pretty lacking. But maybe you find someone who is, a good third D pair guy that you can get on a cheaper contract, and maybe that will just give you that veteran presence that maybe you need, just because you don't feel like your young guys are ready. That's perfectly fine. It's just a matter of what do you want to do with this team? Because I think at some point you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to choose between competition or lack thereof. And I'm not saying they're going to full on tank, because I don't think many people do that. I mean, there are obviously cases of it, but I don't think the Predators would be one to tank. But, if you mentioned Ryan O'Reilly, you sell him off, and you get a first in return, then I think we know exactly where this franchise thinks they are.
Yeah, if you trade Ryan O'Reilly, it's pretty telling that this is not going to be a year that the Preds are going to compete. And you're banking on the next wave of young guys being the future core, your Martins, your Surins, your Molendijks. And for Tanner Molendijk, I think it's a big year. I think he's got to be an NHL player this year. He was the first round pick in 22,
yeah.
23, somewhere in there. And last year, I think there was a thought that he could compete to make the team, and he didn't. And, it was an up and down year for him playing in Milwaukee. you'd like to see him take that next step and be an everyday guy with the NHL team. That's going to be, to me, that's the way that this Preds team can start to show sustainable growth, is if Ufko and Molendyk end up being legitimate starting, top 2 pair level defensemen for you. I think the other question for Chris McFarland is, where's your scoring going to come from this year? Because you look, only 9 players had double-digit goals last year. Bunting, you traded at the deadline, so he's gone. Eric Haula, likely gone. Ross Colton only had 9 goals, so he wasn't a double-digit scorer, so you didn't add him.
Yeah, but his was more situationally based.
I know, 10 goals is a very, arbitrary line to set here, but my question is, with so little depth in your scoring and putting the puck in the net, can you count on Steven Stamkos to have 40-plus goals again next year? I don't know if you can.
No.
And so you're going to have to find scoring from other sources. Does Matthew Wood? He had 17 goals this year as a rookie. Could he become a 25 to 30 goal guy? I think that's reasonable to ask. Could Luke Evangelista put the puck in the net a little bit more? He had 44 assists, but only 12 goals this year. I think that's somewhat reasonable. But outside of that, I don't look at this roster and say let's say Steven Stamkos drops down. He's a 28 goal scorer. I don't know if I can find 14 goals in there to make up for it with what you currently have on the roster. I'd like to add somebody who can be a scorer for you in free agency or in a trade, because even if Brady Martin comes up and is a good player, even if Matthew Wood takes a step forward, I just don't know if you have enough scoring on this team. Doesn't have to be a long-term, doesn't have to be a huge contract, but go get another 12 to 18 goal scorer in free agency. I think that needs to be a priority, is finding people who are going to put the puck in the net.
Yeah, and I think you make a great point in that you're hoping for your young guys to take that next step. Does Brady Martin take a step? And obviously we don't have a lot of volume on him just because he played in such a different league than the NHL for most of the season.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to be a Pred on day one. I feel like he kind of has to be, just because of the direction you want to take this franchise. Again, hinging on Ryan O'Reilly. But I feel like Luke Evangelista is a keystone in this one as well. Matthew Wood as well. Those are guys that took big steps last year. I mean, Matt Wood led all rookies in scoring at a point in the season last year. Luke Evangelista had a career year, especially in the plus-minus department, if I'm not mistaken. So those are guys that you got production out of last year, and at a high level too. Can they take the next step? And that's something we know about the Predators, is they have a great farm system, but not a lot of them have come up to the NHL level and actually panned out, at least for them. Like Phil Tomasino was a kind of a bust. Juuso Parssinen,
Tommy Novak,
Eli Tolvanen, who went over to Seattle and is fine, but he's
right. There's been guys who have come up and they've had decent careers, either for the Predators or in other spots. But there's been so many prospects that it's you get excited about, and they just end up being just another guy.
I would put Fedor Svechkov in that category.
Yeah, right. Svechkov was another guy that you were excited about heading into last year. You saw flashes, and he scored 4 goals this year.
He's a fourth-line center.
Right.
He's fine.
You can find fourth-line centers pretty much anywhere. Those guys you can find those guys.
You just traded for one.
you need some of your young guys to actually be, maybe stars isn't the right words, but really good players and not just replacement level players.
Look at Carolina. Carolina is constructed of not stars, but really good players at those positions. You want to be like them. And that's not going to be solved in one season, because that's physically impossible.
Right.
You can't do that, especially with this free agent class. I mean, my Lord, it's not perfect at all.
Yeah. I want to see who's the big names out there.
I'm not in the camp of, oh my God, you have to draft number 1 and you have to get a McDavid level star, because it's such a rare occasion that that's going to happen on a yearly basis. Plus, with the lottery, you're not guaranteed a first overall pick anyway. So I just feel like you have to hit on certain positions in a certain way. You don't have to draft superstars, but you have to draft stars. So I think Carolina taught us that
right.
They are not constructed of any one guy that can completely take over the game. I mean, look at who won the Conn Smythe. Jordan Staal won the Conn Smythe, and he had 12 points the entire playoffs.
Grinder.
So it can be done. You don't have to be Vegas, who just has stars all over the place, and they still couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
You don't have to be Edmonton, who has a top line of
Yeah.
McDavid and Draisaitl. You just have to be capable of hitting on pieces that are good for your team. And I think that can get you a long way. But it's going to take some grinding, and it's not going to be a 1-year solve like we thought it would be a couple years ago. It's going to take some time.
Looking at free agency, there's not a lot of names that excite you. Like Patrick Laine, again, was a good player with Columbus, but
like 8 years ago.
I mean, he's only 28 years old. Like that would be but I don't know about the fit there. There was talk about him possibly being a match with the Preds when Columbus was trading him, but he was injured at the end of the year with Montreal. Jason Robertson is a restricted free agent, so you could offer sheet him. And like, I think if you're looking to get somebody who is going to be a piece for you now and for the future, like Jason Robertson would make sense.
That's a guy I'd be willing to give up picks for.
He's 26 years old. So I wouldn't hate that. But again, and I think he would fall into the age bucket that Chris McFarland talked about of like, we're not going for guys who are in their 30s. But also like, we want guys who can help us in the near future. Robertson would fit that mold, but again, he's a restricted free agent. There's no guarantee you would actually get him. Trevor Zegras is a restricted free agent.
He's fine.
I'm trying to look for people like under the age of 30, like, on the blue line, Rasmus Anderson is a free agent. He's 29. Connor Bedard's a restricted free agent.
Oh yeah, go get him. Yeah.
The spot track for hockey is not exactly flawless because the 7th highest rated player on here is Shea Weber,
who is still technically currently active.
I guess so.
Hasn't played in like 5 years.
Well, yeah, the top guys on here, you have to like sort through it. It's Carey Price, Sergei Bobrovsky are the top two, both goalies, but both are 38 or older. Then Ovechkin, who, if he plays again, it's going to be with Washington. John Carlson, who just got traded from Washington to Anaheim. And there's some other guys on here who it's like, yeah, they're not playing hockey this year. I don't know why they're listed as free agents. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. It's an exciting offseason with Chris McFarland taking over for the Predators as the president of hockey ops and GM. And we will see a week from today is the NHL draft. That's his first big moment, but again, not really going to impact the team much this year. Then the week after, that first week of July, we'll get NHL free agency and see what Chris McFarland adds to this team. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Coming up next, the Protect College Sports Act is moving forward to the Senate floor. We will talk about it, a bill that the SEC and the Big Ten aren't necessarily on board with yet, but could end up passing and changing the way we look at college sports. We'll talk about that coming up next. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up, 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley. The stadium pulse is high in
it's
studio
high.
right now.
It is third down in Athens right now.
My wide receivers can't hear my hot routes.
Check Mike, check
Is
Mike.
the screen shaking?
Green 82. And then you overthrow your receiver by 20 yards.
I felt like I was there.
Are you going to play with the new catching meter or whatever?
I don't know yet.
I heard it wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to stick with, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well, I stuck with that the past 2 years with the passing meter.
Yeah. Speaking of college football, we got an announcement from Vanderbilt about 30 minutes ago.
Oh.
New series, and I'm fired up about this one. In 2028 and 2031, the Vanderbilt Commodores will play the Virginia Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah.
Anchor down,
Anchor
baby.
down.
The last 2 years, I've had to deal with a lot of, tough feelings. It's bittersweet. Vanderbilt beating Virginia Tech twice. Happy for Vanderbilt. Love what the Commodores are doing. But, the Hokies, that's my team. I mean, that's where I went. So this one, there's absolutely no hard feelings here.
Oh, you're all in on one
Anchor
side.
down.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, you're going to be a Wildcat this season, too, in basketball.
Right. Yeah, for the ACC SEC Challenge.
You can come over to the Big Blue Mansion.
There we go.
Which is my house, which is not a mansion or blue.
Yeah, the Hokies women play the Lady Vols, and then Kentucky plays Virginia. So I will be locked in on both those games. And then
Vols versus Cavs is like one political leader against another that I'm not going to mention.
Well, yeah, I mean, when they played here in was that 2023? The Labor Day weekend 2023, they played at Nissan, Tennessee and Virginia. I was like, man, I don't. Well, I guess they played in the round of 32 this year, or the Sweet 16 round of 32. Round of 32 in the tournament. Yeah, that's always a tough matchup for me.
Yeah,
I don't want either team to win.
Yeah, that's like when a couple years ago when Duke and Tennessee played.
Yeah,
in the second round. I pulled for Duke.
It's tough.
How bad it was.
It's tough. Speaking of college sports, big developments. There's been so much back and forth about congressional oversight of collegiate athletics, and the Protect College Sports Act was passed by I forget what committee it was.
The Senate Commerce Committee.
The Senate Commerce Committee, and it is now headed to the Senate floor, although the SEC and the Big Ten are not happy about it. Now, this is something that would fix some issues in college sports, but I do think it leaves some doors open that would probably have to be closed at some point and amended with this. But the SEC and the Big Ten have said that they do not support this as it's currently written. They want some changes made.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Derek Mason yesterday. The reason that the SEC and the Big Ten want this rewritten and revitalized is because they feel that they are benefiting the most from the current state of college football. Who's getting all the G5 transfers or the lower Power 4 transfers? The SEC and the Big Ten. Who's getting the big TV contracts? The SEC and the Big Ten. There are obviously some stragglers outside of those conferences like Notre Dame and Miami and Texas Tech, but who is benefiting the most from the current state of college football, whether it be winning, whether it be making the most money? The SEC and the Big Ten, because those are the two powerhouse conferences. And they also want to leave the door open for that super conference if they ever see fit to it. This bill would prohibit that.
Well, another reason, too, they don't want to pull their media rights.
Yeah.
And that's what this bill would do,
right?
Right? Where we could pull the media rights in college athletics. They don't want to do that. And this bill would close the gap between the ACC and the Big 12. They're, like Connor said, they're pulling away from the pack, and they don't bother against it.
Well, and it also, I believe, that was something that was changed. Yes. So I'm sure the SEC and the Big Ten are against this because they may never say the word Super League, but eventually that's what they're going towards. Is they want to be two 20-team conferences that it's basically the AFC and the NFC. That's what they want eventually. At least I think,
which I think is bad for college football.
And Greg Sankey said they haven't even had discussions about a Super League, but that's false.
I mean, I don't think it's imminent, but it does seem like you can look and see that as the future path. By freezing expansion, not only do the SEC and the Big Ten, they can't expand, but guess who gets stuck? Clemson, Florida State, Miami, they all get stuck in the ACC, even though they've been just waiting out for that grant of rights where they can finally pay whatever it is and get out and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That would be huge news for the ACC, knowing that they wouldn't have to worry about losing some of their crown jewel members over the next few years.
I would imagine the Big Ten is probably looking towards adding some of those Big 12 teams.
Yeah.
Like maybe they want to go south and add a Texas Tech, or maybe they want to
Arizona
add
State.
BYU.
Utah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like we've seen that there are no limits to where the Big Ten might go.
Or even the ACC.
Yeah, that is true.
The All Coast Conference.
The Big Ten and the ACC, they go from sea to shining sea.
Yeah, I understand it, but if this gets passed and goes through the Senate and they pass it, then I'm trying to remember the Camp House Rock song, how a bill gets turned into a law.
I'm just a bill.
But anyways, if this ultimately comes to fruition, then there's not much they can do about it. That's just kind of the law from here on out. And regardless if you're in support of the law or not, I think there are things in this that are beneficial to the sport of college football. There are just things that I think affect certain aspects of the conferences that are not.
I just don't, there's never going to be a perfect solution to this. And I do think that something needs to happen to at least set some guidelines of where college sports needs to go. Because as we've seen with the Sorsby situation and a lot of these court cases, Bediako, that the NCAA is having trouble enforcing their own rules because you just go to a judge, and if the judge overturns it, then great, that they can do whatever they want. So I agree that this is necessary. You need some sort of enforcement ability of these rules. But I also think that you can take some time and make sure that you're doing this the right way. Like there is urgency to it, right? You want to get this done quicker rather than later, but I don't want it to feel like they're rushing this through, even if there are some holes. I don't think it addresses anything with the transfer portal.
It does.
Oh, it does?
Oh, well, it gives you a one-time transfer anytime, and then the next transfer you have to sit a year out.
Gotcha. For some reason, I thought I saw Tommy Tuberville was making a presentation, and he has his proposal, which basically only addresses 5 to play 5 and 1 free transfer.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's not really going to go anywhere.
I don't think it's going anywhere, but it said on his other side where he was talking about the Protect College Sports Act, it said does not fix the transfer portal, but maybe it does have some.
Yeah.
I would think that would be good. You get 1 free time. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Like everybody.
And then I think if a coach is fired or leaves, they grant you a free waiver.
Yep. Yeah. That is exactly what it should be. 18-year-olds make mistakes on where they want to go to college. That is not just athletes. Students, regular students will go somewhere and realize that's not where they want to go. Everybody deserves a chance to change their mind. So 1 one-time transfer. And I agree. If the coach leaves or is fired, I think you get a waiver to be able to do it again. I think that's super common sense.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I think we all need in this, whether it's congressional intervention, whether it's collective bargaining. We need common sense rules for college sports because, as we've seen, common sense sometimes gets thrown out the window.
And it feels like college sports is the only league in America that refuses to use common sense. Like the NFL, common sense is king over there. The gambling thing, that wouldn't last a day.
Right.
It hasn't.
Well,
there are examples of that.
Yeah.
There are examples of that on the Titans roster. Calvin Ridley.
And that's why collective bargaining, it works at all levels of sport, right? Like that's what we've seen is that collective bargaining is the best way to make sure everybody is getting what they need and is maybe not everybody's happy, but there's compromise. And so I do think eventually that might be the path that college sports needs to go down, where there is the players can represent themselves, the schools can represent themselves, and they come to a decision on what the rules should be. But I think we're way further away from that now than we are away from possible congressional help. So I think maybe this could be a good Band-Aid until they're able to find a more, lasting solution.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we need a players union in college.
Well, that's football. I don't know if that's what they would call it, but that would be basically what collective bargaining would be.
Yeah.
The players get to represent themselves
Right.
and come to the table and negotiate what the rules would be for transfer portal, for NIL, all this kind of stuff.
And it works. Obviously, sometimes you have disagreements. Like, I'm not sure we're going to play baseball next year because of the whole collective bargaining agreement there. But
yeah, it's far from perfect.
But it works. it gets results.
Anytime you have bipartisan support on a bill, it's not going to be perfect whatsoever. But the fact that we even are at this point with bipartisan support is huge. And this is the closest thing we have right now to fixing college sports.
Yep, 100%. 615-737-1025. We will see, again, the Protect College Sports Act is heading to the Senate floor. And, it takes a while. It's Congress. It's not going to be quick, but we will see if this
They're going to push. They're going to try to push this through, though,
Yeah.
as quickly as they can.
Right.
July, I think, is when we're expected to hear the next vote.
And
early July.
It would be a huge shift in college sports. So we July 10th. So we will see over the next couple of weeks. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We will wrap up the second hour of the show coming up next. Again, we're getting ready for World Cup action. US, Australia, 2:00. We'll also talk some NFL in the third hour. Which teams, as we head towards training camp, are most set up for disappointment? We'll get into that coming up later on. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up, 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley. Wrapping up the second hour here on this Friday, getting ready for the U.S. and Australia in the World Cup. Game 2 of the group stage. U.S. won 4-1 over Paraguay last Friday and can win the group today with a win and a result in the Turkey-Paraguay game. They need Turkey to either lose or draw to clinch the group.
Let's go.
Here we go, U.S.
Let's go.
And it is Father's Day weekend as well. Stay tuned for the final hour. We will give away 2 tickets to Journey at Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. So that for Father's Day, we're giving those away all day long. Stay tuned right here on 102.5 The Game. We'll do ours coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. We do have some news, and I had to go to an Italian reporter to get this information. Gianluca Di Marzio from Sky Sport. He has 1.9 million followers on X. It shows you how big soccer is worldwide.
Yeah, Italians.
Good news for the USA. Christian Pulisic has recovered from his calf discomfort and will be fully available today. So
let's go.
Good news there. Good news there. The U.S. taking on Australia, 2 o'clock. I'm really excited. It was the perfect first game last Friday for the U.S. to, I think, get the country bought in, where they weren't just good, but they were exciting to watch. They were pushing the ball forward. They were making plays. You got to see some stars. Flo Balogun, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic only played the first half, obviously, but it was just exciting soccer. And I rarely say that. Like, soccer is not exciting all that much to me, but I had fun watching that game.
Yeah.
And so I think today's going to be fun, especially with Pulisic being available. I mean, we don't know how much they're going to push him. He is still recovering, of course, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it was certainly an adjustment period for me watching them, going into it not knowing a lot about the team. I mean, Pulisic and Weston McKennie and players like that, but
Serginho Dest.
The last time I really got all into it was the whole Josie Altidore, Michael Bradley, Tim Howard, that era of U.S. soccer. So in sitting down and watching the whole game the other day, I'm excited. I'm all in on U.S. soccer this tournament. I wish we had a season. That'd be awesome.
The host teams have stood up well. Mexico officially won their group last night with their win over South Korea. Okay. So they are moving on. They win Group A. Canada, 6-0 winners last night.
Yeah, their first ever World Cup win.
So they play Switzerland for the group, but they have clinched that they will advance, I believe. Yes.
How about that?
Canada will advance, and the U.S., with a win today, clinches that they will at least advance to the round of 32. So chance for the host teams to all get it done. We didn't talk about it yesterday because TD was on, but it was pretty special to watch Lionel Messi with the hat trick for Argentina on Wednesday night.
I mean, he's the greatest soccer player of all time, at least in our generation. The way he moves, the way he adjusts throughout his career. I was a big Messi guy in middle school.
Yeah.
I think everyone was when you went through your soccer era.
Right. Even if you weren't a soccer fan, you knew you had to pick either Messi or Ronaldo.
I was Messi.
I was Messi too.
So I enjoy watching Messi play. I did actually watch most of that game.
I had it on. I don't think I was like locked in on the whole thing, but I did watch. I think I saw 2 of his goals live, and man, he is fun to watch. Even how old is he?
Like, 38.
Crazy. This is his 6th World Cup.
And he is now tied all time for the most goals in World Cup history.
Crazy. And he got the win 4 years ago, which was kind of the one thing missing on his resume was winning the World Cup, and he did it with Argentina and trying to defend that here.
If he goes back to back, man.
I mean, I
don't think they're as good as they were 4 years ago, but I mean, as long as they got him.
I heard Dr. Crane talking about this yesterday. There's not an argument, right? Like, he is the best soccer player of all time.
Has to be.
Right? I think that's pretty.
I mean, it sounds like there's an argument for Ronaldo. I have no idea.
I think Ronaldo is definitely one of the greats, but
doesn't he have more championships?
I have no idea.
Yeah. This is where I need Nick.
This is why I have no opinion on this because I just don't know.
I know this. It's funny. Most of our shows on the station is like we just don't know soccer well enough to like intelligently talk about it, except for Dr. Crane. He's the only guy. So, it'll be nice.
That's why we love him.
At least for the first hour today of the game, he'll be on with Joe. And so you'll get some soccer insight there. But I thought that was really cool to watch him perform the way that he did. And I think he's like Wayne Gretzky. It's just like you watch and you're just like, I can't believe how good that guy is, especially with how old he is. And it's cool to have him playing in the U.S. and he's played at Geodis Park. So that was fun to watch on Wednesday night.
Plus the other thing, and this is such a Connor Nute thing to be excited about, Argentina's kits are so cool.
Their kits.
They're so cool. That's such a me thing.
I do like their kits because they do like the flag, like the white and the light blue.
But
then
they
have the dark blue too as one of their colors, right?
Yes.
I think I agree with you.
The US's kits are awesome too. I want them to wear, although they wore the other day, they wore the all white, like the white shorts.
Yeah.
They need to do the white top with navy shorts. It'll look perfect.
Speaking of which, out this morning at ESPN, which teams will look the best in 2026? The World Cup kit rankings.
Yay!
Let's see. Where do the United States rank?
You know how much I love my uniform talk. It's my favorite.
We're getting close to getting the Titans rivalry uniforms too.
Oh, I can't wait.
The United States away, the Navy one is 28th out of 105 uniforms.
Okay.
So there you go.
Pretty nice.
Home with the stripes is number 5.
Woo! Who's number 1?
Number 1 is Uruguay. Their away uniforms.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to do some.
It's
research.
navy blue with I hate to say it, but do you know what the Tigers City Connect jerseys look like?
Yeah,
with the Motor City.
Oh yeah, it does look like
it. Kind of looks like that. Japan's away is number 2. France's away is number 3.
Brazil's away is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
the yellow tops with the blue bottoms.
Argentina's away is number 7, and Brazil's home is number 8. So there you go.
Okay.
Your kit rankings for the 2026 World Cup.
It's list season, folks.
It is. And that was not a list I thought I was ever going to read. The jersey rankings for the World Cup. 615-737-1025. Again, U.S. and Australia coming up at 2. Fired up for it. And the U.S. can win the group if they win and Turkey either draws or loses against Paraguay. But the U.S. with a win will advance past the group stage to the round of 32.
Are we saving score predictions for 11:30, or are we doing?
We can do it now. We're not doing it World Cup specific, so we'll say no U.S. for the Monday headlines. But let's go score prediction right now.
I'll say it's a little bit closer than the game against Paraguay. I'll go U.S. 3-2.
Okay, I'm thinking 1-goal game. I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1 U.S. Parker.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What is your score prediction for the game?
I know.
USA wins 3-1.
3-1. Okay. All right. So we
got a nice little range there.
Yeah, it's we're all around the same.
Sounds like we're all expecting an exciting game.
Yeah.
No
one expects the US to lose, which is good. Dustin from Hopkinsville asks, are there any Nashville SC players in this? I believe the only one is Ahmed Qasim.
Is he the Iranian?
Ahmed Qasim is for Iran, and then
Iraq,
sorry. And then Jacob Schaffelberg, who's no longer on Nashville SC, is with Canada. So, familiar face, but not currently with the boys in gold. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley with you. We got one more hour on the show. We'll give away some Journey tickets in the final hour. We'll talk some NFL. We'll make some predictions and much more. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up, 125 The Game. Next man up, 102.5, the game final hour on this Friday. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly BI membership, where the buzz is always about great service. World Cup rolling along. U.S., Australia coming up at 2. We've talked about that plenty today. We'll talk some NFL. We will make some predictions at 11:30. And again, we've got some Journey tickets to give away. We've got a pair. We've got a couple more throughout the rest of the day. So keep it tuned right here as we give away 2 tickets to Journey in October, Bridgestone Arena for Father's Day. Let's get into the NFL here. Training camp, mini camp is in the books. Training camp just around the corner in a couple of weeks. And I've had this question on the grid like all week long. We've never gotten to it, but I want to know, are there teams that stand out to you that are just primed for disappointment this year? The NFL is always one of the toughest leagues to predict, where there are teams you think that are going to have big years that sometimes are just average, like the Chiefs last year. Obviously dealt with some injuries, but no one thought they would go 6-11 or whatever they ended up going. But there are also teams that overperformed. The Patriots, for example, last year, no one thought would be in the Super Bowl, and they were. Are there any teams to you that stand out that are getting a whole lot of hype that you just don't think are going to be able to live up to it?
There's a few. Not that I don't think they'll miss the playoffs, but I think the Broncos could take a step back this
I would
season.
agree with that.
Just because replicating winning the number 1 seed in the AFC could be so hard. You've got a quarterback coming off an injury. You've added a piece in Jalen Waddle, but I don't really think he's a wide receiver 1. I think he's a high end 2. So we'll see how they go. They got a great defense, but they lose one of their key pieces, John Franklin Myers. Wonder where he went. He's now here. So I think the Broncos are interesting to me. Let's see. The Bills, I think, could be set up for a little bit of disappointment.
Yeah.
In the fact that I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs, but I think they're going to somehow find a heartbreaking way to just not make a Super Bowl.
So, the same as usual. Yeah, like the Bills, I thought about them too, because that roster is flawed. Like, there isn't DJ Moore is fine. It was a good addition to bring him in, but not like they got a superstar for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be about the same as last year, but I also am like, I don't think you can put the Bills on a group of teams that are set to disappoint, because that fan base has to be just so numb to it at this point about it. It's like, you can't hurt us anymore. You've already hurt us too much. Here's a team that I think is set up to disappoint. The Chicago Bears.
Really?
Yeah, just because I think everybody views them as a team that is ready to take the next step. And we've seen this before, like Washington last year, I think was an example of that. They went to the NFC Championship game. They've got the young quarterback. They're bringing in pieces. They're going to be a Super Bowl contender this year. And injuries was part of it. Jaden Daniels wasn't really healthy the whole season, but it was a team that just, they couldn't take that next step. The progress isn't always linear with these teams. And with Chicago, I think everybody's hyping them up. Caleb Williams is on the Madden cover. Ben Johnson is a genius. They've got weapons everywhere. Luther Burden set to take the big next step. And maybe they are going to be as good as everyone thinks, and they're going to be winning the NFC North again, and they'll be back in the conversation with the Rams and the Seahawks to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're more likely than the Rams or Seahawks to miss the playoffs. Like, that division is tough. Yeah. And I just think there's a lot that isn't fully proven about that team quite yet.
You make a good point. I don't think they're going to be, NFC conference contenders like everyone's making them out to be. I definitely don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, but I think they somewhat overachieved and got a little bit lucky in the playoffs last season. They had that massive comeback against the Packers that one game, that first round. And then they almost hung on and beat the Rams.
Right.
But I think they're on the upswing. I think that's a team that in a few years, we're going to be talking about them as Super Bowl contenders. I don't think this is the year. But that said, I don't know if I would classify them as disappointing. I would just classify them as on schedule.
Yeah. And I think you always expect the teams to keep getting better, and that's just not how it works in the NFL. Like, I thought Dan Campbell said it best after the Lions lost that NFC Championship to the Niners a few years ago. It's like, who knows if we're going to get back here, right?
That's a disappointing team right there.
Right. Last year.
49ers. This year.
The 49ers. Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah. I mean,
They're so old.
The Eagles.
Kittle's aging.
Really?
There's a lot of teams that I look at, and it's like I think you see flaws in those teams, and no team's perfect outside of the Los Angeles Rams.
The Avengers.
But there are a lot of teams that I think are viewed as, oh, that's a team that's going to win their division, and I'm just like, not so fast, my friend. Like I think there's reasons for concern with the Bears. I think the Eagles is a good one. I think the Patriots are a team that is set to took a big step forward. And Mike Vrabel obviously is a good football coach. They bring in A.J. Brown. I think expectations are kind of sky high there with the Patriots, as they kind of always are with Patriots fans because they're spoiled and think they should win the Super Bowl every year. So I think the Patriots are a team. They're probably going to make the playoffs because they're going to get 4 games against the Dolphins and Jets. And, even if the rest of their schedule is a little bit tougher, they've got that built-in buffer. But I don't think they're a team that is going to be competing to go to the Super Bowl this year.
I don't either. Just because the schedule they played last year compared to the schedule they played this year, aside from the division, is vastly different. You're playing a first-place schedule now. I believe week 1 they get the Seahawks in a Super Bowl rematch.
They do.
I think the Seahawks are a team that could take a step back. Not because I don't think they're going to be good, but
it's just tough.
In the NFL, it's so hard to go back-to-back. I mean, we've seen the Chiefs do it. But outside of that, the Patriots did it.
Right. Unless you're a dynasty.
You're
probably not doing it and going back-to-back.
You have no weaknesses. You're not going back-to-back. And the Seahawks are a team that I feel like have some weaknesses.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule for the Patriots this year because they lead off with the Seahawks, that on the road, ring night, banner night. That's never easy to go in and win. They've got the Steelers, which that's probably a win, but is Jacksonville going to be good again? They have to play them on the road. They play at Chicago. They play Green Bay. They play Detroit. I think they play the Chiefs. This is a tough schedule for the Patriots. So would it surprise me if they make the playoffs and go like 10-7? No, but I think it would surprise me more if they went like 12-5 or 13-4.
Mm-hmm. Well, Vrabel special. You know how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Vrabel's going to find a way to win some of those games that you're like, man, I don't know.
And then he'll find a way to lose the ones.
Right.
Like he did it last year. They lost week 1 against Las Vegas.
Yeah, worst team in football.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to find a way like mid-October. They're going to lose at home against the Jets and then go beat the Bears or something on the road or beat the Packers. Some of those teams that it's like, I don't know, on the road, are you going to be able to go win that game? It is the Vrabel special.
Are there any teams in the South that you think could be in for some disappointment?
I think the Colts.
I do too.
Yeah. I think the Texans.
All 3 of those teams.
It's hinging on quarterback play.
It's kind of random in the AFC South. I think the Colts that roster just isn't.
It's not sustainable.
It's not all that well constructed. And I don't know what Daniel Jones is going to look like coming back from the Achilles. So I would say the Colts are a team that I think could be a bad team this year. Now, if things click into place and Daniel Jones does look like the same guy he was for the first 2 months last year, then sure, they could be solid. But I don't have high hopes for the Colts this year. And you're right. The rest of it depends on quarterback play. For the Jaguars and Texans, what are Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud? Are they going – is Trevor Lawrence what you saw last year that got you to 13-4? I don't know. Is CJ Stroud what you saw his rookie year or what you've seen the last 2 years? It's big years for both of those quarterbacks.
Yeah, the Colts are – we talk about false hope with the Preds. They had kind of that last year.
Yeah.
They start off hot. Daniel Jones looks great.
Trade for Sauce Gardner. 24-year-old Sauce Gardner.
Give up your next 2 first-rounders for him. So 24-year-old Sauce Gardner. I just noticed that. Is it sustainable? Now you lose Michael Pittman, who is probably your number 2 receiver to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Is Alec Pierce really what you paid him to be?
Right, and he's injured, I want to say, and is going to miss some time. So maybe not like actual game time, but miss some of training camp. So you're right. The Colts, that is an enigma. I'm not really sure what we're going to get out of them. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. We'll take your thoughts. Any teams that are getting some hype, that are talked about like playoff teams, but you just don't believe in. And also, speaking of the Colts, ESPN put out an article yesterday about moves that teams could make heading towards training camp. And the Titans were mentioned with a former Colts player. We can talk about that coming up next as well. 615-737-1025. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up. 1025 The Game. Parker's in his feels back there because Freddie got to meet Ella.
I'm just going to tell you this. I am so incredibly sick of this song.
Don't be a negative Nancy.
Yeah, this is...
It's like the only song of hers people play.
Well, yeah, it's one of the most overplayed songs in recent memory.
It's annoying.
It's a good song, though.
I'm in my
It's
feels,
okay.
man.
They just ruined it.
I get a free pass. I'm in my feels, man.
Yeah, Freddie got his picture with Ella last night.
Well, move to Germany.
Yeah, become a German
Is
tourist,
that what it
Parker.
takes? Is that what it takes?
How long do you have to live in Germany to be able to come back and have a tour like this?
Well, how long has Freddie been alive?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I could pass as a German. I have blonde hair, blue eyes.
There you go.
I could develop an accent. I could study German.
Join Hydra. That'll get you there.
All right.
What you need to do tonight is you need to go on the rooftop over on Broadway and just stare off into the lake and admire, or the river,
The river.
and admire Nissan Stadium.
Yeah,
Not
there
the
you
new
go.
one.
It's
the
the
old
most
one.
beautiful thing I've ever seen.
And yeah, just, live like a European and maybe it'll happen for you. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up, 102.5 The Game. You can tell it's a Friday. We got a few more segments with you. We're going to make some predictions coming up at the bottom of the hour, but we were talking about the NFL teams that are going to disappoint. Wesson Hermitage texted in on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Wes
Says, nobody seems to be big on the McCarthy-Rodgers reunion. I wonder why nobody thinks the Steelers are going to be good. I still think they could beat the Wildcats, though.
Yeah, good one. Great one.
Well, they can. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. It's like Frazier's Vandy could beat Titans.
Right. Ridiculous. But I'm not big on the Steelers this year.
Me neither.
Like,
Me three.
I think it's Aaron Rodgers. I just don't believe in him anymore.
They've got 8 and 9 written all over them. 9 and 8.
Right. And I like Mike McCarthy as a coach, but I also don't know if Mike McCarthy is a huge bump up from Mike Tomlin. Like, I would say he's probably a small step back from Mike Tomlin.
I think he's a bridge hire. I think they hired him just to fulfill, what's he on, a 5-year contract?
Yeah.
They'll keep him around for that long while they wait for the next young up-and-comer to come out. And then that's when the rebuild will start.
I really think it is Rodgers. I don't know a ton about their defense. That they've still got like Jalen Ramsey on that defense, don't they?
I mean, they always, TJ Watt's always going to be a threat.
Yeah, and they do have some other pass rushers, Highsmith and the guy they just Herbig that they just signed to a $100 million deal.
Yes.
So they've got some players. I don't think they're going to be bad, but I don't believe in Rodgers at this point in his career.
He's 45.
I think they're going to be a 7, 8, 9 win team, 9 at best.
And that's a competitive division too. Like, I think the Ravens are going to be better than they were last year.
I think the Bengals are going to be better than they were last year.
They are too, if they can stay healthy. And then there's the Browns.
Yeah.
You heard Joe Burrow's comments about the Bengals.
Yeah.
Reminds him of 2019 LSU.
How about that?
If they can stay healthy, man. It's the offensive line will always be a concern.
It's the defense mostly too. Like, and they added Dexter Lawrence. They've spent some draft picks on pass rushers to try and replace Trey Hendrickson.
Got some defensive free agents.
Right. Like, they're at least making an effort, but I think they realize that if things aren't good, if they can't protect Joe Burrow and they can't stop the defense or the other team from putting up 35 points a game, Joe Burrow is not going to want to sit around in Cincinnati all that long.
Welcome to LA.
Right. Yeah, that's what the joke was, that 3 years down the road, they're going to trade Ty Simpson for Joe Burrow.
Well, that's what we're saying about Paul Skeens, too. Once he's done with Pittsburgh, it's either New York or LA for him if we can't get this collective bargaining agreement thing figured out.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a cap, it would make things easier for Pittsburgh to keep him because it would be more of like a standard extension that he could sign instead of whatever number the LA Dodgers can think of in their heads. That's what they're going to pay him. And Tarek Skubal, I'm having trouble seeing him anywhere but LA at the trade deadline.
It's gonna break everyone's hearts. Not because no offense, not because we're all Tigers fans, but we're tired of seeing all these
right.
picks. Like, they're gonna have a rotation of Yamamoto, Blake Snell,
Shohei,
Tarek
Skubal,
Glass now, and now Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, and they're a team that is willing to do it. They've got the prospect pool to get it done. So yeah, off topic there, but I'm dreading that in about 6 weeks, right around when training camp starts. That'll probably be when Tarek Skubal gets moved. There was a note in an article from ESPN yesterday talking about just moves that each team could make heading into training camp. And for the Titans, it was sign Kenny Moore, who is out there. He's obviously been a good player with the Colts for a long time. He can play in that nickel spot. I wouldn't hate it. And I think it would give you a deeper secondary because then Marcus Harris could kind of be a hybrid. You could play him inside, outside as your fourth cornerback along with Josh Williams. It makes that room a lot deeper. But I also think based on what they've said, the coaching staff believes in Marcus Harris and they want to give him the room to grow. Do you want to take him off the field for Kenny Moore on a team that probably isn't going to be competing for a playoff spot this year?
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it, like you said, but I feel like if they were going to make that move or a move adjacent to that, they would have already done it. I feel
I
like
agree
they
with
have
that.
faith in that corner room. They really like Taylor. They really like Flott, and Flott is kind of your guy that, like we talked about with the Preds, the guy that you sign. He's not super old, but he's not a spring chicken either. And you can kind of develop him, and he can be your driving force moving forward in that room.
Yeah.
That's what Cordell Flott is to me. Kenny Moore, I don't know too much about him. I know he's a good corner. I know he's had some good seasons with the Colts, but again, I feel like if you were going to make a move like that, similar to like we talk about with the offensive line, if you were going to make a big move like that and make some big signing just to overhaul that room, I feel like you would have done it already.
Yeah, and I forget Kenny Moore got cut probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
So, he hasn't been out there since March, but definitely a move that I feel like if they wanted to address nickel corner, they might have done it in the draft or in free agency earlier on. I want to say Kenny Moore was the one who had the pick 6 on Cam Ward to start off the game in week 3 last year.
You might be correct.
Yes, he was. Yep.
Yeah.
Kenny Moore, 32-yard interception return. So
how old is he?
Let's see. I like Kenny Moore. I mean,
Because if he's like a 32-year-old corner, then no, thank you.
He's 30.
Okay.
I wouldn't hate it on a 1 or a 2-year deal, but I also think, when you get into your 30s and you haven't, not that Kenny Moore is some superstar, but when you're in your 30s and you haven't signed in June, aren't you typically looking for a place that you feel you're going to go win? Right. Like I feel like most free agents who haven't signed yet are looking for their best opportunity to go win. Now, not everybody. We saw DeAndre Hopkins. Not that he didn't think he could win here, but clearly money was a big factor there. And money, no one has more money at their disposal right now than the Titans do in terms of cap space. So if they wanted to go make this move, they could do it. And I would understand it because I do think on paper, it does make your secondary a lot better and deeper. But you're also taking away reps from a young player who, the way they talk about him, it seems like the coaching staff thinks can be part of their young core moving forward. And you maybe be stunting his growth by not allowing him to get consistent reps.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. I don't know if that would happen. I feel like when you're going to see Titans decently sized signings is probably camp cut day, or when we go down to the 53, maybe there's like a decently major.
They'll be high on the waiver order again.
Yeah. They're not going to be number 1, but they'll be higher.
They'll be 4.
They'll be 4.
I would guess. Yeah, I think it's the draft order. So yeah, they'll be up there. I would guess. I mean, there's always roster shuffling. We saw some of it this week, but in terms of big signings, like we keep getting that question, especially when TD's in, is the Titans have all this cap space. What are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with it?
I'll tell you what they're going to do with it.
The answer is probably nothing.
I'll tell you what they're going to use some of that on.
Extensions.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Well,
and Peter Skoronski.
The extensions actually might give you more cap space this year, just based on how they structure it.
Yeah.
But they're going to, they want more cap flexibility moving forward because you hope you're going to have to extend some of these draft picks that you've had. And it also does give you flexibility in the middle of the season. Let's say the Titans get off to a great start. Wouldn't guess, but trade deadline, let's say they're 5-3 and it's like right in the thick of things. And you feel like you can go make a move for a player and trade a 6th round pick. You can take on salary that maybe some other teams may not be able to because you have the cap space.
I don't think they're going to be in that situation.
I disagree, but I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen either.
I thought you were. No, I disagree.
I disagree. The Titans are going to the Super Bowl. No, I agree with you. I don't think that's realistic, but at the very least, having the extra cap space gives you the flexibility to make moves like that.
Let's remember the last time the Knicks and the Spurs met in the finals, the Titans went to the Super Bowl.
They did.
And the Spurs won and the Rams won. So that means the Titans are going to play the Rams and they're going to win this year.
They did it. That is a factual statement. The last time the Spurs and Knicks
all
played.
The numbers point to it.
WB and Thompson Station had a comment about the MLB. He says, since you mentioned Pittsburgh, if Nashville is ever going to have a team, we'll be in that same room. I'm from Kansas City. I know it well. All of our good players end up as Dodgers or Yankees. That's happened for decades.
This is what happens when you're a fan of a small market team.
Right.
I'm a St. Louis guy. A lot of our players end up, like Tommy Edman, for example, ended up at Dodger.
Yeah.
Jack Flaherty ended up at Dodger. And then
Tigers traded him.
And then the Tigers have him.
Tigers traded him and then got him back.
Yeah.
Somebody else can have him if they'd like. And it's true. Nashville, I don't think would be a team that's going out there spending $500 million on their payroll. But a cap would make the playing field a lot more level because, again, you couldn't have the Dodgers just thinking, let's spend $700 million on Shohei Ohtani and only pay 20 of it over the next 10 years. Like, those contracts would not be possible anymore. So it would allow smaller market teams to compete and keep their own players. I think they'd structure it a lot more like the NBA, which gives you the ability to give your players the max, the super max, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And that would keep a guy like Paul Skeens or, Tarek Skubal for the Tigers from just being automatically gone as soon as he hits free agency.
Yep. And gone to one of two markets.
Well, yeah. Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, sometimes the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what baseball's been, but we'll see.
Hashtag that's baseball.
The lockout is coming. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. We're going to give our Monday headlines coming up next, make some predictions about what's going to happen this weekend. But I've been teasing it all show. Let's give away some tickets. We've got tickets all day for the Journey concert at Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. Be caller number 4 at 615-737-1025, and you will win 2 tickets to that concert, Journey at Bridgestone Arena on October 21st. Caller number 4 at 615-737-1025. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up. 1-2-5 the game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. We're feeling American in the studio this morning.
Are we all standing
We're
up?
standing.
Okay. Sounds good.
The stream looks absolutely fantastic right now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure some people enjoy it more than others. If you catch my drift there.
World Cup Game 2 for the U.S. coming up in just over 2 hours against Australia out in Seattle. We are fired up. We all picked the U.S. to win. I picked 2-1. Connor picked 3-2. And Parker picked 3-1. So we're all kind of in the same range. We're all on the Americans today. Looking forward to it. But we're not doing predictions for that. We already picked that game. It's time for our Monday headlines. What's going to happen over the weekend? We are going to try and guess across all of sports. Connor Nute, why don't you lead us off?
Thank you. I'll go to the College World Series. I think this one's going 3. I really do. I think, well, I don't want to give specifics on who's going to win what game because that'll ruin my entire parlay.
Yeah, I would say maybe just tell us who's going to win and how many games.
I think North Carolina wins in 3. And
Okay.
the SEC streak comes to an end. But I think it is going 3. I think they're going to be high-scoring games just because both teams are playing with the bats pretty hard right now. I really think this is going to be a fun series. I think we deserve a 3-game series like we talked about. Omaha hasn't been particularly dramatic this season, which is okay. You're going to get some years like that. But I think this one's going 3. And I think it goes in favor of the ACC.
Okay. You're saying the streak ends.
Unfortunately.
And North Carolina gets it done. I do think North Carolina is the better team.
Mm-hmm.
But Oklahoma, the way they've been playing, I don't know. It's going to be a fun series. I am going to go to the U.S. Open.
Oh, that's happening?
Yes. Round 1 was yesterday. Round 2 is underway out at Shinnecock. I am going to go. Man, so Wyndham Clark right now is 7 under. He's in the lead. Colin Morikawa is in second. He's 4 back at 3 under. So Wyndham Clark's got a pretty big lead. It's a tough course out there. I'm going to go further down the leaderboard, though. I'm going to go bold here. And I'm going to say he has come up so short every time he gets into contention in the majors. He's finally going to get it done. Give me Ludwig Oberg to win the U.S. Open this weekend.
I actually know that name. Thank you, Christian Skeleton.
He's been like every single major, he's in contention on the final day and he never wins it. I'm going to say he gets there. He has a good round today, good round tomorrow, and he's within a couple strokes on Sunday, and he goes out and he finally closes out his first major win.
I feel bad for not knowing this was happening, but like I've told you many times before,
It's
not a golf guy.
It's always Father's Day weekend, the U.S. Open.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
That means Christian's going to be playing the music tomorrow in my ear while I'm live at Duncan. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I actually, maybe there is a standard for the other majors of what weekend they are, but I don't really know exactly. But Father's Day weekend is always.
Well, you always
Open
know the
weekend.
Masters is second weekend of April?
Yeah, I think
usually?
so. Yeah, because it's the weekend after the national championship in basketball. So anyway, I've got Ludwig Oberg to win the U.S. Open coming from behind. Parker, what you got?
Going to be original since so much is going on here, but I'm going to the Men's College World Series as well. I think it goes to 3, but give me the Sooners to keep the SEC streak alive.
Wow.
7 straight for the SEC.
Okay.
Take that, Dr. Locke.
Head to head again.
Again. But there's not as much at stake for us this time around.
Right. Well, at the very least here, we can say the Big Ten is not going to sweep all of the major sports. UCLA not making it out of their regional was a huge gain for the SEC and the other.
They didn't have a team in Omaha, did they?
They did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was 5 SEC teams, a Big 12 team, an ACC team, and a Sun Belt team. So, yeah, they did not have a team in Omaha, but the Big Ten had football, men's basketball, and women's basketball. They could have swept all of the revenue sports. Instead, the ACC or the SEC is going to get the win. All right, second Monday headline. Connor, what you going with?
That's a great question. This is when Monday headlines is going to get a little bit difficult for us.
See, I love doing it because it's just bold predictions, and we don't keep score or anything. This isn't like weekend winners with Robbie Rexroad. I view this, and I've said this before, like the bold prediction segment on NFL Network,
In that case, then I think we're going to have another crazy June NFL story going on this week. Someone else's age is going to get mixed up. Someone else is going to come out and say, I'm actually also 24 and not 25.
I like that.
It is definitely not going to happen. But what else do we have?
I think that's hilarious. Of like, somebody's going to say, Sauce spoke up, so I'm going to speak up too.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag, yes.
Maybe not use that one.
My age is wrong too, and I want everyone to know. All right, I'm going big here.
Uh-oh.
You guys ready
Swinging
for this?
for the fences, calling a shot.
The story of the World Cup so far has been the country of Cape Verde.
They advance.
They get the draw against Spain in Atlanta, one of the biggest upsets we've seen in World Cup history. Well, guess what? They're going to beat Uruguay on Sunday and advance past the group stage.
Let's go.
Give me Cape Verde, their goalie who's got like 15 million Instagram followers.
Where is
now.
Cape Verde?
It's off the east coast of Africa.
The top part of
No,
Africa.
Sorry, not the top part.
It's west coast of Africa.
West coast of Africa.
Madagascar is off the east coast. It's off the west coast of Africa.
Yeah, they live it up in the west.
Give me Cabo Verde to beat Uruguay and advance past the group stage.
I love it.
It's not going to happen, but
I love it.
We go big.
I love it. I can't wait.
Parker, wrap us up with your final Monday headline.
I'm going to go with the boys down in South America tonight in the World Cup. Give me Brazil to beat the country of Haiti.
Wow.
7:30 on Fox.
We're scraping the barrel here.
Both teams have not won. Haiti did draw in their first game. Brazil's 0-1. But
Brazil draw, Haiti lost.
I'm reading that wrong. My bad. Brazil's going to win tonight. Brazil's going to win.
Bold prediction. Well done, Parker. He picked the -900 favorite to get a win tonight.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do?
It's like Colin Kadoof coming in here the other day. Guys, my bold prediction. I think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Except he was like dead serious about it. I was like, they're the betting favorites, right? Really?
The only reason I say that is I had a Brazil soccer jersey growing up.
I
just want to go, go Brazil.
I like
right?
Brazil in general, but picking them to beat Haiti is not exactly.
Here's the thing, though. I do have a bone to pick with their sports fans because I sat behind some Brazilians at a volleyball game at the Olympics 2 years ago.
Were they smelly? Proceed.
Sorry.
Tell the story.
Buy me some time.
All right.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize smelly would get Parker.
Yeah, we got 3 more games beyond the U.S. and Australia today.
Okay. I've regained composure back
You've recovered.
Here we go.
So they what happened was you bought tickets and you got to see 3 games for the price of 1. You get to see 3 volleyball games, 3 beach volleyball games, and Brazil played the first game and they left after Brazil was done. And I'm like, guys, you're not going to stay for the main event. The U.S. plays in the third game.
Wow.
And they
Box
just left.
office Americans are playing.
And I'm like, why would you not stay for all 3? You're paying for it. You might as well, right?
This was in Paris?
You get 3 games.
This was in Paris?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a fair point.
I agree.
Why not stick around? You paid for those tickets. Watch all 3.
I agree with
it. Drove me crazy.
It's like the SEC tournament. When you buy tickets to the SEC, especially that first day,
you stay.
Yep, and you pick a team to root for, even if you have no rooting interest.
That was this year. We stayed. Kentucky played LSU. Of course, you know where my rooting interest was there.
Yep.
And then the next game was Auburn and Mississippi State, and it was 2 teams I don't care a thing about. But you stay, and we supported the Bulldogs of Mississippi State because why not?
Love it. Nick Fraser's team.
Yeah.
Those are our Monday headlines today.
Go Senegal.
To recap, maybe the craziest edition of Monday headlines that we've had. So Connor and Parker against each other. Connor's got UNC winning the College World Series. Parker says it's going to be Oklahoma.
And I would love for him to be right.
Connor says there's going to be some other age snafu in the NFL this weekend beyond Sauce Gardner. I am going with Ludwig Oberg to come back and win the U.S. Open and Cabo Verde to get a win against Uruguay and advance past the group stage. And then to wrap it up, the boldest prediction we've seen on this program, that the small country of Brazil will beat the superpower Haiti tonight in the World Cup.
Some real David and Goliath stuff. There.
God, I'd never even heard of Brazil before this tournament, unlike Haiti, who, of course, we know.
This will be up there with the upsets of all time.
Right.
Like Miracle on Ice.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes. Brazil beats Haiti.
Miracle on Ice. UMBC beating Virginia. And
Listen,
Brazil
man,
beating
it's
Haiti.
June. All right.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. If you got any predictions for the weekend, we will take those on our phone and text line. Last call for phones. We will wrap up the show after this. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelley, next man up. 1025 the game.
Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list.
Next man up, 1025 the game. Final segment. We're getting you ready
Oh, I'm fired up.
for the USA and Australia.
This is one of the greatest American patriotic songs ever.
It's great.
If
And
not the
I
greatest.
showed you one of like the Instagram edits that came across my feed this week.
Oh, they're my favorite.
I mean, it's just like every great American sports moment. Just get
Most of them are like from the Four Nations too. Which
Yeah,
is
there's
funny.
like Four Nations. They have David Freese hitting the walk-off home run.
Tim Tebow.
Like,
just a bunch of random flyovers.
I mean, you could put anything to that song and it would get me fired up.
oh yeah,
Tennessee beating Alabama in 22.
it's like
Yeah.
the Hell Yeah edits where it's that one Linkin Park song and it has like
Yeah,
Revenge of the Sith,
What
and then
I've done.
no, the other one.
Numb.
Oh,
right?
not that
no,
one.
no. It's,
I thought it was Numb too.
Somewhere I Belong.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
I
about.
want to hear that. One.
Yeah.
It's got like Revenge of the Sith and like Jurassic Park dinosaurs and like random gunfights, and you just look at it and you're like, hell yeah.
You guys were out at practice on Wednesday. Brandon Bigsby played the Tavon Austin highlight tape.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't
coming
here.
back. Yeah,
Man.
Okay.
There are a few songs that just transport you somewhere. That song, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, just gets you there immediately.
Ellenbeck transports me to that.
You can hear it off the first drum. The
American girls.
2:00 kick tonight or today in Seattle. We're just over 2 hours away from the second game of the World Cup for the U.S. 4-1 winners over Paraguay last week, trying to get the win, can clinch that they will advance with a win over Australia today, can clinch the group with a win and a Turkey loss or draw. We've got some people on the text line who are they're riding high with Parker's lock that he put down there.
Heck yeah, dude. Pat McAfee's rubbing it in my face right now. They re-ranked the 48 teams in the World Cup, and Brazil's number 6, and apparently they have the most World Cup titles of any other country.
Yes.
Just to tell you how much people are inspired.
So I really
by you.
went out on a limb there, guys.
Here's
Yes.
Weston Hermitage, just to tell you how inspired people are by
That's what Hair Metal Henry said. He said, first, don't be hating on Haiti on these here airwaves. And there's no hate on Haiti.
I'm not hating
you.
on
We
Haiti.
love Haiti.
But
We love Haiti.
I'll be rooting for Haiti, right? I want to see the upset there. Wes from Hermitage says that he just took Parker's pick to the books. Huge payout. If he is correct, he'll turn 25 cents into 28 cents.
There
Let's
we go.
You can
I'm
buy
trying to
half of a candy bar with that.
Not even.
Not even. You get a fourth of a candy bar with that.
You could get a gumball and still have 3 cents left over
How about that? Do they even have gumball machines anymore?
somewhere. But actually, with inflation, you might be paying 50 cents a gumball.
Yeah. Well, not much more. We have a peace treaty. That's awesome.
I will say Brazil is third in Group C. So,
Well, they all tied. didn't
and who
they?
expected Cape Verde to tie with Spain or to draw with Spain?
Yeah.
Right. No, that's
Except
true.
they are the
But-
real little
But
guy.
you
Brazil.
you picked Brazil. You didn't pick Haiti.
Just saying.
You picked
Just
quite
saying.
literally the heaviest favorite of the day.
You're like, who would have
Anything can happen.
who would expect Cape Verde to tie Spain? I'm like, yeah, you're picking Spain in that scenario. You would have been wrong. No, I'm. It's bold predictions. He went on a limb.
If Brazil can manage to get it done today, I'll just think of Parker Kelley. He told us this was going to happen. One of the biggest upsets in the history of soccer.
I went out on a limb. All right.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about the U.S. The closer we get to the game, I feel
Me too.
good about the Americans getting the win over Australia. I'll just drop a bomb and leave for the day. I will continue to say the U.S. If this country cared and invested in soccer, the U.S. would be the best team in soccer in the world.
We just don't develop the athletes like Germany and England and these foreign countries do in soccer.
That's their culture, right?
Right.
Our culture sends our best athletes to play football or basketball or baseball or hockey. Soccer's like fifth.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you play soccer, you're not getting the resources that these other countries are getting because all of their money and attention goes into soccer, whereas we just don't care about it that much around here. If America's culture was the same as Spain, England, of like, oh, soccer's our number one sport, we wipe the floor with them.
I'd agree with that. Look at what happens when you invest in a Canadian sport. You own it now. Hockey is an American sport now.
Yeah.
So
Right. So let's hope. I mean, the U.S. isn't going to win the World Cup. I think we all know that. But if they did, man, the rest of the world would have some serious trouble trying to talk to us about anything.
I'm just enjoying it while we have it, man. It's not often, especially this year, which I think at the end of the year, we'll look back and look at this as the most patriotic year in the history of sports.
Yeah.
With the Olympic
Winter
gold medal,
Olympics.
You had UFC at the White House,
World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic. Now you have this. I think we'll look back at this and think this is the most patriotic year in the history of sports.
America 250. Hell yeah. Yeah. No, this is it's been a fun year.
So just
what
enjoy
was
it
that
while we
one
got it.
boxer's name that walked out to Real American? Was it or not boxer?
UFC fighter.
Hokett.
Yes.
That was
Josh
the guy
Hokett.
who
said some things.
people don't really like him anymore.
Well, his walkout was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the walkout
I
was
won't
good.
comment on the rest of it. But
Yeah,
the walkout was cool.
That fight in general was one of the few ones that I was watching. I think it was going on during the second intermission of the Stanley Cup final.
Yes.
Or maybe it was a commercial break or something. Man, Derek Lewis was gassed. Like
he got
3 minutes in,
whooped.
it looked like he just wanted to fall.
That's friend of the show. Derek Lewis.
Right. I forgot you guys had him on, didn't you?
We did.
How
Myself.
about it?
Well, I didn't.
He needs to retire.
Nick
after
Frazier
that.
did.
Nick
Yeah.
did.
He needs to go out after that.
Hair Metal Henry asking, Parker, do you have any odds on Luke Skywalker beating Darth Vader?
What are the odds on the Avengers beating Thanos?
Hey, they lost the first time.
They did.
They
They lost the first leg. They won on aggregate.
Yeah, but they played on home territory the second time.
Yeah.
They played on home territory the first time.
No,
too.
not
Well,
really.
in Wakanda.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sort of.
That's when he snapped.
What
his
about
fingers
Batman
and won
over
this thing.
Joker? What are your odds on that one?
This
He-Man
is
over
gonna turn into a
Skeletor.
thing, is it?
This is just last couple of minutes on a Friday things.
It's only when I'm
Listen,
on.
can I change my pick?
Nope.
No, no. We're gonna give you another chance. Go ahead.
All right, I got to pipe down the crowd back here, but
Canada
I'm going.
intern.
I'm going to go Paraguay over Turkey.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Turkey
That-
is the favorite.
So that would help the U.S. Turkey is the favorite. All right, there you go. Well done. Well done.
Did I
Parker.
redeem myself?
Yes.
Middle
That's-
Tennessee.
that's
okay,
better.
I'm proud
there
of
we
you.
go.
That's
There we
better.
go.
We're proud of you.
Still going for Brazil, but
Yeah, well, I'll just think of the time Parker Kelley took the heaviest. This is going down in history with Chris Sanders taking an underdog. A, that was not an underdog. B, of a game that already happened.
Oh,
So,
That was funny. So
when was that?
that was last
um,
year.
Was that a MAC
think
game
I
that he
remember
tried
that.
to take?
Huh?
Was that a MAC game that he tried to take? Because
Yes.
that would have Conference USA plays Tuesday, Wednesday too.
Yeah.
But
I hope I get to participate in that this year. In silly underdogs.
yeah, I mean you'll be on it.
Yeah, but the producer, like
That's true. I
the
don't
last
know.
producer, I don't think did it. But at the same time, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully,
Throw your hat in the ring.
I would love to.
2438 says, and this is literally true, the odds for the Avengers to beat Thanos was like 1,000,000 to 1. Dr. Strange
See?
said that. Yeah, so there you
Quite
go.
literally.
So yeah, not good odds.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about them beating Doctor Doom?
Oh, we
I
don't
don't
know.
know. We'll
we
find
need
out.
a futures.
6 months
Yeah,
exactly from today.
We need a
by the way.
futures odd there.
6 months from today.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's a Christmas release. I forgot about that.
Dune's Day,
Let's
apparently,
go.
which I'm not
Right.
all too excited about.
Well, I think
Dune.
they're releasing Dune a week earlier now.
Yeah.
They should.
probably a good idea.
Unfortunately,
Should. It's like all
But-
these games releasing either months before or months after
because
GTA
I was planning to
6.
go see
Is it not?
Dune and then end the night with Doomsday, but now I can't do
Hey,
that.
I'm gonna be there for like 6 hours.
Yeah,
it would be worth it.
I
It
did
would be
do
worth it.
Barbenheimer, and that was a long
I never did that.
evening.
Oppenheimer was what 3?
Yeah,
3.5
it
hours?
was long. Barbie was a normal movie, but anyway.
I'm at the point in movie going where unless it's something I really have to see, then I'm just like
Wait for streaming.
like the Odyssey this summer.
Yeah,
That,
I'll
that's
go
must.
for that.
And Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Those are the two must.
See,
for
I
me.
wanted to see The Breadwinner, but I never got out there. And at this point, it's like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
It's a good like turn your brain off laugh. type movie.
My father dragged me to He-Man the other day. It's all right. It's good.
That'll do it for us today. Fun Friday. I wanted to hit the out time. We're a little over, but fun day today. We will be
Sorry.
back on Monday, and we will have plenty of reaction to everything going on this weekend. Again, the U.S. plays Australia coming up at 2:00. Chase and Big Joe are coming up next. Keep it here on 102.5 The Game.